So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you listen to this. This is Matthew Beatty alongside my critiquing partner in crime, Ricardo Medina.
Hola, hola, hola.
And this is another episode of Beers, Beats, and Bailey.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, 2 more weeks until the big day, man, the big Christmas day.
Yeah, Jesus' fake birthday.
Whoop, whoop. Yes, the day
Yeah.
that, all the kids believe from since they're growing up is the actual day when Jesus Christ was born.
Yes,
Until they get
well, like
old
what?
and they realize, no,
It's like a
signified.
January. It's like January or something. Well, it's January 12th or some bullshit, so.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh,
Anyway.
no. I'm confusing it. Is Isaac Newton... I really used to think Isaac Newton was born in December 25th, but that's not true. Is
Oh,
actually...
really?
It's sometime in January because the calendar was different, and that's the double shit.
Okay.
Yeah, I was always confused with that. No, Jesus is sometime in the summer, if anything. Most people argue that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right. Anyway, this podcast is not about a religion. I know there's other podcasts out there where you could, go
What?
on and that. But
It might have some religion in the story in one of the shows
yes,
we're
in
reviewing.
one of these shows that we're gonna review. So today we're gonna talk about a whole lot of stuff. So
Right.
first off, some decent enough trailers came out last week at the time of this recording.
Yeah.
So we're gonna just run through
Right.
those rather quickly, and then we're
Yeah.
gonna jump into TV. Well, 2 shows from HBO.
Yeah.
Still giving us that high quality TV. So first off, we're gonna talk about Westworld, one of the most highly anticipated TV shows of this year, and sort of on the radar kind of show that came out, but it got some positive feedback. But I know a lot of people weren't really thinking about it that much because, and that's the funny thing about HBO, more people, look forward to the hour-long shows and not so much the half-hour shows. Ballers, for example. But in this case, I'm talking about
Right.
Insecure.
Yeah.
Which is the season 1 of Insecure, I should say, which is the latest project from African American
Issa Rae?
comedian Isaac Ray.
Yeah, I sorry, yeah.
Well, sorry, Issa Rae. Why am I saying Isaac
Yeah.
Ray? My bad. Right.
Right.
Which
But
came
you say
out this
Issa
year.
Rae, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. So following that, we're gonna talk about a comedy drama film which came out this year called Don't Think Twice. Ricardo actually got a chance to see it. I haven't heard of the film at all. I know a couple of the actors in it, Keegan Michael
Yeah.
Key, sorry, and
Yeah.
Julian Jacobs. I know those two. They're talented
Yeah.
comedians.
Yeah.
Following that, I'm gonna talk about like I mentioned before in my last podcast. December being the month where I have to kind of come up with my best and worst stuff list. I have to go into that deep, dark abyss of terrible movies, and I managed to come out alive after seeing one film called The Darkness, which apparently was supposed to be a supernatural horror film, but turned out to be way worse than that. So
Right.
I was brave enough to see it. I know Ricardo is the type of person that wouldn't even look at the trailer far less, but I took it in because curiosity kills the cat and whatnot. So I will share my thoughts on that. And then we're gonna move from the United States. We're gonna head over to South Korea. We're gonna talk about 2 movies which came out recently from there. First off is The Handmaiden, which was directed by Park Chan-wook, and we're gonna end things off with a zombie apocalypse horror film called Train to Busan.
Okay.
Yeah, which I'll say one time, a lot of people, actually a few critics in particular, were calling this one of the best zombie movies of the 21st century. Actually, if you go on this specific website, Taste of Cinema, which is a very good site if you want to get like top 10 lists, but it's all about people who are into film criticism, so they could actually write their own stuff and have it posted online.
Right.
This one particular guy, I think the article either came out today or yesterday, saying why this show is the best zombie movie of the 21st century. I just glanced through, he gave 10 points. I was like, alright, okay, teach his own, alright, yeah, but I saw it. Ricardo didn't get a chance to see it, so I will share my thoughts on that. Alright, so let's start off with movie trailers. Let me just get the unexpected one out of the way. Well, we get to the big one soon enough, but let me just get to the unexpected one. Well, I wonder if you take yeah, actually, I was more thinking about the Baywatch one.
Oh yeah, I don't give a shit about that. It's like whatever.
No. The Baywatch one is kind of going off the same trend that 21 Jump Street did, and it worked, fortunately, which is kind of self-referential. Hey, we're making fun of a show that isn't supposed to be a comedy shtick, which 21 Jump Street did. And I
Right.
mean, all I will say is that it looks good. I mean, Dwayne Johnson doesn't disappoint. He doesn't pick crappy roles. We'll forget about the Tooth Fairy and what's this other show? The one where he was this the Game Plan, which was highly forgettable.
Right.
But yeah, this one here looks fun. It doesn't take itself seriously. Clearly, has Zac
Right.
Efron, who I haven't been the biggest fan of, but I see that he's trying to get his comedic chops up. Although
Right.
I heard that Dirty Grandpa was horrible. And yes, that's actually one show
Dirty
that
Grandpa was pretty
I wanna
bad,
see
and then
to suffer through.
that was
but,
pretty bad, and then he did another one. That was pretty bad, and then he did another one with
which I haven't seen.
yeah, no, was it? Yeah, the Neighbors one is the one I was thinking of. That one was terrible.
Okay. I thought you were talking about Dirty Grandpa. 'Cause that one
No,
I want to
both-
see.
Both were bad. Both were pretty bad, actually.
Yeah, I know. But once again, after I want to see how bad the shows are, that kind of thing. But anyway,
Right.
but what are your thoughts on the Bewatch trailer? Did you care about it, or is it just
Yeah.
like, well,
I think it's gonna be bad. They're gonna try to get a lightning that 21 Jump Street did, but it's gonna be rubbish. And the problem with these comedies, is this half-assed script and then the over-reliance on improv. And this is we're gonna talk about Don't Think Twice because it has a lot of improv in that. This is a perfect example of when not to use improv. And yeah, I get the feeling you're gonna have that bullshit. There's a set of improv in it. Improv. Half-assed script. Yeah, they'll just do a ton of improv, do a bunch of takes, and then take the best of that. You'll see a bunch of like jokes and ideas that wasn't even in the trailer at all, or like the same scene but is a different set of dialogue and things because they do a different take. I really hate that formula. It's incredibly lazy and unfunny, and most of the time it's just fall flat. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna be any good, but whatever. I don't really give a shit at this point.
yeah. And
Let's
speaking
move
about trailers that we really didn't care about, we just had to mention briefly that Mummy trailer that came out last week Sunday.
Yeah, waste of time.
And here's the thing, like I don't
give
know
a shit.
if this is Universal style, like they always say it's coming out on Sunday. So like right now at the time of this record, which is on a Sunday, I was expecting the Fast 8 trailer to come out, but apparently it hasn't yet. So I don't know if I'll wait till 11 o'clock to see it. But anyway, this Mummy trailer was very, very, very underwhelming. What I didn't like is that it really was, I don't know, it's just, it didn't feel like the original film. I know it doesn't have to be like, what Stephen Sommers did back in 99 with the sort of adventure Indiana Jones vibe, which I loved the most about that the Mummy 1 and 2. We'll forget about 3. Part 3 didn't exist. But this one was trying to go for some kind of dark sort of World War Z-esque kind of vibe thing.
Right.
And then you have Tom Cruise with this ghillie screen that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was like the highlight of the whole thing. But other than that, the Mummy looks terrible.
Yeah.
What else? Enchantress. That Enchantress looking Mummy doesn't look that frightening to me as compared to like Imhotep. What else? And the one thing that I know a lot of people didn't really weren't really pissed off. Or yes, Tom Cruise started the show, but you see Russell Crowe in one shot. Couldn't have put his name in the credits? Come on.
Right,
it's
yeah,
Russell
I don't waste my
Crowe
time.
Tread. Oscar winner,
I don't waste my time with I didn't waste my time.
But yeah, that and just in closing, I find that the trailer gave a little too much. Yes, you have this moment when you're on the plane, and then this happened, and that make up like the like half of the entire trailer. The trailer's like 2.5 minutes, but but anyway. But to me, I don't know if this is true. Before we move on, it feels like that was like a last minute edit. Like they were rushing this thing on Sunday. It's like, okay, Sunday is almost done. We have to put this out. Okay, boom, here you go. Haha.
Yeah, I pretty much it. I just totally dismiss it. It's a set of bullshit. A waste of time.
Yeah.
Waste of fucking time.
Right. So from a unnecessary remake to a great remake, or I should say sequel of a great remake, we got the first trailer for War of the Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
This one gave me chills. Oh my god.
I tell you, dicks out.
That was crazy.
Matthew, dicks out for Cobra. I mean, this movie looking looking so well, so good. It's a franchise that it really strikes the balance of how to do action movie, but take yourself somewhat seriously at the same time.
Yeah,
I mean,
which
the
Dawn
first
did.
two films.
Yeah, what Dawn and Rise did.
Yeah, right. Both Rise and Dawn were solid films for me, but I really enjoyed Dawn. Just so well shot. They really impressed. They really impressed me with some of the cinematography is pretty damn good. It's still a normal film, and you're taking it somewhat seriously. And then they had Cobra riding a horse firing machine guns. It's like, well, Right. Another thing, big recommendation if anybody anybody who didn't have the DVD for Dawn, there's these 3 awesome short films that bridges the gap between 1 and 2.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, it's actually quite brilliant. So they show the events of 1 year after the virus, 5 years after the virus, and then about 10 years after the virus. The third one that covers the entire span of this gun is a short film called Gun. That was so well done. It's easily one of the best short films I've seen in a while.
Is it animated or is it live action?
No, not animated. Live action. All three of them live action, and it's really well done. That one with Gun is really well done. I was so impressed with that. It could have worked on its own.
I imagine this is where the apes finally learn how to use firearms.
No,
right?
no. You'll see what it was. Well, a little bit, but you'll see what they do with it. With all 3 of it.
Okay.
And it basically it could have been you could tell it's just like these short film relatively small filmmakers, and they just decided to splice it into the Planet of the Apes universe, and it just totally worked. All 3 of these short stories were quite good, but that third one was really well done.
Right.
Anyway, I just really love this remake franchise. This remake franchise was so solid for me.
Yeah. Me too.
Good quality blockbuster. It's not an arty film, but it just has some well-made, good conscientious filmmaking, solid filmmaking. So you can't go wrong.
But yeah,
and this third movie looks great.
Yeah, but just to get back to that trailer though, I love it. I love the music that they use. I love that they used not Koba actually. Gosh, I'm forgetting names here. Caesar, right? Caesar's basically kind of narrating this trailer, talking the way how he normally talks, because he finally started to speak in Dawn,
right.
And even with Woody Harrelson, which I'm still kind of wondering, what is his role in this story? I mean, I don't hate this guy though. He's a great actor. I just want to know what he's up to.
To me the trailer kind of just spelled out what exactly he's going to be doing, which is basically the last stand for humanity. Because they seem to be referencing, this one kind of, we could ignore the Tim Burton bullshit movie.
Of course, that didn't exist. No.
Right, the original films, they kind of trying to link it now to show, this is how the war play out in one timeline. Because the Planet of the Apes franchise is kind of like the Terminator franchise in that way, where it's multiple timelines, a lot of time travel bullshit went down now. With it, what they're going to do is they're going to basically show the last quote-unquote stand of organized humanity now with this. That's why I kind of gather from it. And in Planet of the Apes, that was a big reveal, right? It was Earth all along. Charlton Heston film, which in my opinion is a fantastic movie. And this one is it. It's like this is the end of humanity with this last one. The apes going to take over. This is how. This is why. What is the only thing I did from the trailer is mysterious is that there's this human girl that they're taking care of for some reason. So I want to see what that's about.
I wonder if it's like they just happen to kidnap her during some attack or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Right. We don't know. But the apes, the thing is now you're getting to see Koba's side of the argument, because Koba was the bad guy last time.
Yep.
He didn't hold peace at all, and you could totally understand why. And then Koba dead, and now Caesar getting pushed to the point where Koba was in that sense now. Koba arguments starting to become somewhat valid because of human behavior now.
Yeah.
I just want to see how this is going to play out. I really thoroughly enjoyed the last film, and this trailer was so well done for me.
Yes, it was.
And I'm gonna really enjoy this.
Yeah. All right. So 2 more trailers to go. Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yeah, boy.
Oh boy, that was fun. I love that opening scene though.
Solid trailer. I wasn't blown away by it. It was just solid business.
It wasn't like a Civil War kind of trailer. It was
right. Because Civil War
set up the tone and the vibe and everything, and I love it.
Yeah, no, Civil War first trailer, especially when they showed the when Bucky and Cap was doing that wombo combo on Iron Man for the first time. That just blew me away last time.
Yeah,
so
I meant the second trailer where we saw Spider-Man. Remember those reaction videos?
Right.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Spider-Man!
that's hype.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No, but even Civil War's first trailer, I was really impressed by. I just love that first.
Me too. Yeah.
That trailer with Spider-Man, it's really good introductory stuff. It's more the high school character stuff I love. You get to see a little glimpse of Donald Glover. They show I forget the Hispanic woman from Orange is the New Black. She's the older Hispanic woman in charge of the kitchen.
Oh gosh, one of my favorite actresses.
Yeah, I forget
her name though. Yeah.
Right, she's the physics teacher, and while Spidey was watching his footage when he was during the scene in Captain America with him in the airport. Although the footage part didn't really make sense. It's like, wait, who filming this exactly?
I know, yeah. But one thing people were worried about is how much of Tony Stark will you see in this movie. Yeah.
That was a big complaint. I get a feeling that they might. I hope they don't do it too much. Like we don't get to see Tony Stark interfering too much of that kind of thing. But it's a smart move because with Spider-Man, you have to establish him in the universe properly. With Civil War, he's in the universe, but in this movie now, you have to have it flow narratively and have it make sense. Okay, he is in the universe, and then, well, how come he not blah blah blah, and how come other Avengers not here? And you had to do all of that little road paving when it comes to the narrative. And yeah, Tony Stark is a perfect way to do that. Marvel, I think, know exactly what they're doing with this. And you have to remember these movies aren't for the nerds like me. Yeah, they have a lot of stuff for nerds, but it's for the mainstream audiences who, they don't remember every little detail from these films. And I think it's actually quite smart.
Yeah. I have no complaints about that.
Right, it's actually quite an intelligent move from on Marvel's part, in my opinion. I don't think it'll backfire. If it have too much Iron Man, it'll be a problem. But if it just a little bit and is a little too something, and it just write him out and figure out a good way to have him not be in it, it's perfect because he is still the kind of the locus of the MCU in many ways. Robert Downey Jr. Yeah. And they still have to have him as the selling point and make it push forward. No, so I'm pretty hyped. Look good. What's this boy named Birdman coming back as a Birdman? Vulture, right?
Which is very clever. I love that.
Yeah, Michael Keaton's career has now come full circle in a postmodern sense.
Of course, yeah.
He played Batman, to play Birdman, which is a parody and send up of Batman, and then to play Vulture, who's a character who's a Birdman.
Yeah,
so it's a whole thing.
I love that.
They're looking good. Vulture is a good solid villain to start with. Well, everybody comparing it to the Tobey Maguire scene with the ship.
Yes.
The train. So the big comparisons right there. I hyped. I want to see it. Yeah. I actually don't like this trailer anywhere near as much as the Planet of the Apes trailer. But yeah.
Solid. One thing I really like though is that it's not taking itself too seriously like the Sony. Sony trailers for the Amazing Spider-Man, where it's about discover the truth behind Spider-Man and all that kind of stuff, and then it's like, oh well, that's it really.
The Garfield films made the mistake of, well, other than just being kind of crappy films on their own.
Kind of crappy, you say.
Right. I didn't hate it anywhere near as much as other people did, but yeah, it was just bland and kind of forgettable. And the biggest mistake it make was all this nonsense world building that nobody gave a shit about.
All this stuff with the parents and
such a stupid world building.
Oscorp and all that. Dude.
Because they try to do the world building stuff with the parents is this, and in the comics the parents in many narratives are shield agents, and you learn that way later. But it's like, I don't care about that, and who cares? Just make it about Spidey, and didn't really do that. Amazing Spider-Man 1 I didn't hate all that much. It just came and went, forgettable. Yeah. But Amazing Spider-Man 2 was just such a mess.
Oh,
and you understand?
Jimmy
even though it's still made
back. Why they could do that to my boy Jamie? Why? They made him into a Riddler. Why?
Right. And anyway, so whatever. This is Spider-Man. Look, Spider-Man back in the MCU. Great. Hype for it. Happy. Good. Moving on.
Yes. And now let's save the best for last. Transformers: The Last Night, which is supposedly the last Transformers film that will be directed by our favorite action auteur, Michael Bay.
Yeah, bullshit.
Well, I think that's bullshit, but whatever.
Bullshit,
as soon as this thing make a ton of money.
You're doing 8 of them. No,
although he could say, oh, well, I have Bad Boys 3 and 4 to fall back on.
Nah,
yes, we haven't Bad Boys 3 and 4, but oh gosh.
He
got the time for this thing.
So Michael Bay basically at this point, the script says boom, what do you want? That's why I get the feeling is that if you just go and read the actual script, you'll just see boom and onomatopoeia for explosions in the screenplay itself. That's all you're gonna see in that.
I would love to read it. I would love to read the script for Transformers though. At least one.
Yeah, no, they just leak ever so often. I read the script for 3 and 4, and it's like, this is a complete mess, complete rubbish. This one looks terrible. As like all the rest of them, I expect it to get between 25 to 35 on Rotten Tomatoes. If it gets higher than 45, I'll be really shocked. Really shocked. Like, what? They actually go that high with these movies. This movie looking like shit. Nothing makes sense. The last film was probably one of the worst, but this one gonna be just as bad. I don't really care. Anthony Hopkins in the trailer voicing character for some reason, whatever. And that's the sad part. They just get these good people in
and all that kind of stuff. Like, really,
right,
dude? Come on.
Whatever. Here's the thing. If they may make some homages to. They may make some homages to
Transformers the movie with Unicron.
Right. So I look, we might get some Unicron, but yeah, I hear they might be doing some like extra universe stuff and expanded universe stuff from Gen 2 and Gen 3. Well, if I forget the name is, I think it's the Quintessons or something like that. Basically, he's the creator of the Transformers. These guys who have like floating heads and their heads spin while they're talking or something like that.
That was in the animated movie, yeah. That was what they were. Okay, I thought it was just some entity that was just there killing Transformers now, which I remember from the movie.
If I remember that, they're supposed to be that. I forget if it's called the Quintessons, but they're supposed to be the creators of the Transformers, if I remember correctly. I think so.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm not too hyped. It looked like a mess. Here's the only thing that is a saving grace. The Transformers franchise can end up turning out to be like the Fast and the Furious franchise, where they took themselves so seriously and it was a set of bullshit. And then at 5, it started to get good because it like stopped taking itself seriously and just have fun and just know to make a good entertaining movie.
Yeah.
Like, I hope that happens. I hope, much like with Fast and the Furious, the last 3 Fast and the Furious films were like that. 5, 6, and 7 was like, yeah, we stopped taking ourselves seriously, and they take this and they started to just do nonsense with it, and they make it work for the most. And it's actually better than taking yourself too seriously.
Yeah, I mean, they had fun. Approach. They realized that, it's a goofy kind of premise anyway, so let's have fun with it.
Here's my main problem with the Transformers franchise. It fails at doing what it's supposed to do, which is interesting action. Because I don't expect... That's my big problem with those films, is that...
Even the first one? I mean, although I will still defend the first one. The first one
me too.
was great for what it was, popcorn entertainment, but everything else other than that was just terrible.
No, me too. The first one actually worked in terms of the action. Action was actually quite smart. It worked in a certain extent. Again, the first one is still an utterly mediocre film. But if you're looking in terms of its relative score, it's much higher than the sequels.
How much is 50 something? I think is on.
It's in upper 50s in Rotten Tomatoes. I'm like, that's what it's supposed to be. The first one actually had a decent enough story. Now here's the thing. 2 things they did smart with that first one. One, they made the action work.
Yes.
It had some genuinely kick-ass action in it. Like, it had a part where one of the robots was rollerblading and then
on a freeway. That was
badass. It had nothing like that in the sequel. And then they had when Starscream was transforming and taking out the jets and then transforming in midair.
Yes. I love that sequence.
That was kick-ass. I was like really impressed with that. But the sequels just kind of half-assed it and didn't give a shit. And that was the main failure with the sequels, is that the action was boring.
Yeah,
action
and
wasn't
then they
interesting.
had this terrible attempts at humor.
That's all
that
different story. All that shit I would have cut. I would have cut that from the first film still. But then the sequel just started to do bullshit, didn't care. And that's where it failed for me, is that it failed to at least be entertaining. I don't want any brilliant... Look, it's not 2001: A Space Odyssey. I don't want no Kubrick film. I just want good action, genuinely entertaining, imaginative action. Try to do that with a very bare bone story and you're good. That's all you need to do with a Transformers movie. Nobody else, and then make references to the cartoons a little bit, and then give me that. Like, how come Megatron ain't turned to a gun yet? What the fuck?
I know, right?
Yeah. Little shit like that just bother the hell out of me. He don't have to turn to a gun, He could turn to like a hand cannon where he mount himself and Transformers, improving another Transformer or something, and then he turns to like a Mega Man style cannon or some shit like that, and then do that. At least do some shit like that now. Finally, make references to the cartoon. Whatever.
Yeah.
I expect what I want him to do. 2 things. I expect them to just not take themselves seriously, and they should just outright just start to make crossovers with the other material. Like for the 6th film, bringing the Beast Wars or some shit like that. Just do that. Like, just cater to the...
They try to do something like that with the Dinobots and it failed.
No, that's Dinobots. Dinobots is something different. You have Beast Wars, which is a whole different time thing narrative.
Yeah, true, yeah.
Do Beast Wars. Give me some shit like that. In fact, look, you could just say fuck it and then just do anything, You could like fucking bring the Fast and the Furious guys in that shit.
Dude, bring G.I. Joe into this.
Something, yeah, like just crossover and stop giving
That
up.
would make so much sense when you think about it. Hasbro, get it?
Like, I know, they could totally like do the Fast and the Furious crossover with Transformers, and that shit would sell gangbusters. It easily make $1 billion, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Just have the Dominic Toretto driving, Bumblebee or some shit like that. Whoever. You're good. And then do a half-ass script, mix it up, and you will make $1 billion. You don't have to give a fuck. Stop caring about your bullshit too much. Whoever, they still make money.
Exactly. Well, what I would say about this before we move on, the 5th one, where it was Age of Extinction. Sorry, the 4th one.
The 4th one. Yeah,
Age of Extinction.
Yeah, rubbish.
Where it was trying to be all dark and edgy and this is not the Shia LaBeouf stuff anymore. This is all.
Yeah, you know. you know what's pissing me off about it? It tried to have like all these high-minded ideas in it. It's like about
it's like a trilogy's worth of like ideas it put. They have this transformium thing which they only show like in the first act, but then in the end where they were in China and Hong Kong, nobody had it. I was like, all this stuff going on, you tell me no scientists had transforming and they had turning the guns and defending stuff. No, it's just forgotten. And then all this thing with Megatron being Galvatron,
right?
It only brought up at the beginning and the end. Like, okay, you know what I mean? But this one,
they fucked that up though.
Yeah, this one. Okay, I see what they're trying to do with the historical thing. They're trying to make it bigger than expected. Because remember the first one, it was found in some ice. It was a ship that sank in the Arctic or some kind of thing. So
that bullshit.
Yeah, some kind of thing. So, but okay, expanded. But Nazis and knights all of a sudden, I don't know. And I know Anthony Hopkins' narration could make sense of that. I'm sorry. You know,
right? But there's get good actors in it. Who's the big actor they had in the last one?
Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, he's in it.
He's not a big actor. They had this already was playing the
Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer was there, but the other one, who was in China with the Chinese girl? Oh shit, what's his name? But you know the game. Not
Turturro.
No. Well, John Turturro had a little cameo. Little small role.
Jeez, see, I only saw the movie once, so I can't remember.
Oh god, fuck. Where's his man name? But I'm looking up his name now.
You look up that, but anyway, but this one here, taking itself too seriously again. The song doesn't really work. Although you know when it comes to Transformers trailers, I mean, yes, the final product is terrible, but nothing could ever beat like the song that they used for the third movie, Dark of the Moon.
Right.
That song, that instrumental that they used was so. It kind of captured everything about it. I would say it's probably one of the best trailers I've ever seen, even though the movie was probably one of the worst Transformers movies I've ever seen. But
for me,
this fifth one, this song that they use, I forgot the name of it, but it just doesn't fit. It makes it too dramatic.
Actually, the thing with the third film is that I didn't
like it. I felt it
was...
No,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's not the worst film, because I'll say pound for pound, probably the second film is the worst.
Of course. That was when people started to laugh at the franchise.
For me, I don't know. It's something about the third film I just hated the most. Because with the second film, it was a mess. But from what I remember, if I remember correctly, they had to deal with the writer's strike at the time. Remember the writer's strike?
Yeah.
They had to deal with that. So I could understand why it would fail. Like, it would still kind of suck, but it sucked more than it should have. So I didn't really mind. But with the third film, you can say, all right, we're going to improve and really make a good script and make up for the second film. And they didn't do that at all.
No, the pacing was terrible. Acting was terrible.
And then by the time the fourth film came out, it was like, well, I just kind of gave up and didn't give a shit. Oh, the character I'm trying to remember, the actor is Stanley Tucci.
Oh, yes.
He was my favorite in the fourth film. Right. Anyway, the fourth film came out and I just stopped giving a shit. I just treated it like a Tommy Wiseau film at this point. It was like, yeah, this is just a Tommy Wiseau film with billions of dollars. I just went in, get drunk, talk shit, laugh at it, and move on.
I remember leaving the show with me and my friends and we were just asking questions like, why this happened? How this happened?
I didn't waste time with that shit. I didn't waste my time with that shit. I was like, because it just had a part in the beginning that didn't make any fucking sense. And it had this one dude in the audience was like cheering it on. Is like, I think it's when Optimus just repair himself magically when he just started drive. Like, how?
Oh, and that shot where he suddenly turned into. I think it's that.
Yeah, he just fixed himself.
Right. I remember that when he was on the road. Yeah,
and he just repair himself, and it just had to play all this real hype up triumphant music, and it had this one dude in the audience, and my boy was like, "Yo, that what talking about?" And I was like, all right, well, this movie clearly not for fucking me. Move on. I just didn't give a shit. Just gulp my beer and move the fuck on. Yeah. I did not care. At the end, the part of the movie where I realized these people definitely don't give a fuck is when Optimus Prime had the rocket boots at the end. I'm like,
yes, that was one of the questions I asked. How all of a sudden you could fly?
I was like, what the... And the movie fucking long to it, though.
Yeah, it was 2 hours and 45 minutes. Why? I don't know.
Yeah, the movie
but it felt way too long for its own good. It felt way too long.
Whatever. I write up the franchise. As I tell myself, I treated it just like the Fast and the Furious franchise. First 4 films was kind of crappy. The third film they tried to do something interesting with. But remember, the fourth film you kind of forget about with Fast 4.
Yeah.
Didn't care. Didn't give a shit about the Fast and Furious.
The fourth Fast and Furious movie, by the way.
Right. I didn't give a shit about that. And then when the fifth film came in, it just decided as hype it up. It didn't have a plot. They just do something, they copy us of bullshit from it. They just basically make this Ocean's plot, and they
Ocean's
just make
11.
it, right, and they just make it fucking awesome with the whole
Yes,
with
yes,
the
they did.
right.
How they pull
And
that off
that is
was
what you have
excellent.
to do. That is what you have to do with this shit. Just make the action inventive and clever, and you're good. That's to at least get the critics on board. But whatever, the movies make a ton of cash in China anyway. Whatever.
Of course.
So-
in closing, I'll just say this one last thing. The only reason
Right.
why I'll go and see the show, whether it get bad reviews or good,
Right.
is that is the last Michael Bay directed Transformers.
You don't know that
That's
shit,
all
man.
I want to see.
You don't know that shit. because
Okay,
the man-
okay. I don't know.
But the
But
last
still,
one he said it
I
would have
will
been his
go.
last. The last one he said was going to be his last. So I was like, yeah, I don't believe that. I remember the last one he said, I think something similar you said. So I was like, oh, well. I see him
I
come back
thought the
for fight.
third one was the last.
Right, that was trying to say. He said that for like 2 movies now. So like, well, fuck it. You don't care. Move
Yeah,
on.
but I think that's the problem. It's just the same old same. I mean, what you wanted to do at this point, like, oh wow, it's gonna be better, because that's the promise we always keep getting with these ones. It's
Right.
The next one is always going to be better, always going to be better, and then
Right.
what? It never turns out to be like that. So why should we care now? To be honest.
Yeah. As I
Anyway.
said, I pretty much, I like most others, have pretty much written off the franchise. This movie franchise was it's an example of you could always prove when you cater to geeks, like how the MCU has done. The MCU has made a ton of cash and cater to geeks in the right way. Right? The MCU is not perfect, but it catered to geeks because you get the feeling that have a lot of love going into these movies. But with Transformers franchise, they fuck it up. And I'll admit, the Transformers expanded universe was never particularly interesting in my opinion. But they could have still catered to it and make it work. Whatever.
Yeah.
Next.
Anyway,
Don't really care.
moving
Yeah.
along from
Moving along.
incompetent sci-fi to more intelligent sci-fi, very
Right.
thought-provoking. We are
Yes.
going to talk about HBO's Westworld.
Aha.
Yeah, which was inspired by the cult classic 1973 film of the
Yes.
same name, written and directed by legendary author
Michael
Michael Crichton.
Yep.
Yeah, and there was a sequel, came out in 1976, called Future World.
Future
Haven't
World.
seen it.
Yeah.
Don't really care for it, but anyway. But
Yeah.
the-
I wasn't the biggest fan of Future World. It expanded the world in a good way because I was like, wait, why is that people will just play Westworld and have Westworld work on its own? And then when they did Future World, even though as a film it's not anywhere near as well executed as Westworld, I actually appreciated that they expanded the universe. But yeah, it was a weaker film.
What was the gimmick with Future World? Like, Westworld was all about this Wild West style theme
No, they
park,
just-
pretty much. But what
They
was
just
Future
carried
World
the
about?
logic. Well, they just carried the logic to its logical conclusion about how people would perceive the whole simulation system now, and where I forget the plot itself, but basically just expanded the world of you get to see all the other stuff now, like all the other how this technology would carry itself now, instead of just being in the quote unquote Wild West.
Okay. Yeah, but for one thing that I always remembered about Westworld, which I enjoyed, but I saw it like years ago, was of course Yul Brynner, who was like the precursor
Yeah.
to Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator character. Just this guy
Right.
dressed in black who didn't say anything, and he was just like this rootless not cyborg, android, who and just the way how he played that character was just so legendary. That was like a perfect casting right there.
Right. Actually, well, we will talk about spoilers, but I actually thought that Ed Harris's character was Yul Brynner's character in the beginning.
In a way, but
In the beginning,
that's how
I
they
thought,
set it up.
he was gonna, and then they eventually reveal what went on with the story. But yeah,
Yeah.
Um,
All right.
Westworld.
So,
Okay.
well,
so
let me
do
just
I
run
like
down.
this?
If I could just run down what the premise is about, just quickly.
Right,
All right. So
sure.
it's created by, and a couple of the episodes was actually the first and the final episode was directed by Jonathan Nolan, who is the
Right,
brother of Christopher Nolan. And Jonathan was the guy who pretty much wrote the short story Memento Mori, which was the basis of Christopher Nolan's breakout American film Memento, one of his great
Yeah.
works. Although in retrospect, I find like the more you watch it, the more the flash forward, flashback thing becomes more of a gimmick than
Oh,
anything.
you don't think Memento holds up?
No, it does. It's just that something like
Okay.
I don't know, like quite recently. I think it's probably last year or so when I watched it, I was like, I think
Right.
it's because of the very ending. Like you're expecting this real powerhouse ending, and then it just ends, and you're like, oh, that's it. Okay.
Right.
But I still love the movie all the same. But other than that, though, and he also wrote the script for Interstellar, which I will
Right.
make references to as well, too, in terms of this show's narrative style and whatnot. So
Right.
the premise basically is that this is like years in the future. It takes place in this technologically advanced amusement park, sorry, called Westworld, which
Right.
looks and feels exactly like the Wild West. And
Right.
what this series does compared to the movie is that it touches on characters who inhabit this world. So the two main characters that we really focus on are Dolores Abernathy, who's played by Evan
Right.
Rachel Wood, quite brilliantly by the way, and Maeve Milley, played by Tandy Newton, who is basically she's the madam of Westworld. She stays at this particular bar. I believe the name of it is Sweetwater, and
Right.
she's a madam, so she deals with prostitution and stuff. And along with that, we also see behind the scenes of Westworld. So we see, the scientists and the people who are involved in just making this world what it is. And what we are introducing from episode one go forward is that these androids that are called hosts, basically that's what they're called. They basically just serve a particular function. So when visitors come to the amusement park, they go through like different scenarios, different narratives as they're called, and then these machines are just basically carried back, repaired and whatnot, updated just like a computer, and then sent back out to do their thing. And those two particular characters that I mentioned, Evan and Tandy's characters, along with a few other hosts, become aware. They realize that this world is not what it seems. They realize that there's this greater power basically controlling things, and we see it from
Right.
both sides, both from the host and from the human side. And not to spoil much, there are a few characters that come into this world, a few human characters who basically, it's basically this world where you could do what you want. I mean, it's the Wild West. And I'll talk about this later on, the way how the West is portrayed here. It's not just about riding a horse and, cattle drives or whatnot. It's basically where you could go and screw whoever chick you want or shoot somebody in the road and nobody would care. It's just the
Right.
lawlessness that people could just come in here. The humans could just come in and just do whatever they want. And, at the same time, you have the host basically who just doing these routine tasks over and over and over until, like I say, these two characters along with a few others realize something's up, something's going on. And it's just those two worlds basically clashing together in very Nolan-esque ways. I'll use that term later on. And that's all I could say right now about Westworld without spoiling too much, because honestly, the less you know about this show, the better. Although I have a feeling that by the time we finish review this, we're probably gonna spoil a few things. But hey, what do you
Yeah,
expect?
more likely. You
Yeah.
kind of hard to talk about it without spoiling.
Exactly, it's
Don't worry
really
about
really
it.
hard. But what are your thoughts on Westworld?
I liked it, but I didn't love it, and I kind of wanted to love it. Is one of those.
I see.
I okay. So as well, I was mentioning this earlier with you. Is a show that it falls within what I call the sci-fi plot bingo, which is you're kind of guessing what really going on, and you guessing what's going on because you're kind of relatively accustomed to a lot of sci-fi, you kind of easily guess what was going on. It's like, okay, this character was this and this character was that, and oh, this is the real nature of this person, and this is what this person doing, and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guess most of it, or whatever you guess fell within the option radius of your own like bingo game. You expected this to happen and this to happen, and this is the reason. My net is pretty wide in that way, so it was kind of hard for the show to surprise me, and I couldn't say it really surprised me. And then some of the character arcs didn't really work for me. So Tandy Newton's character arc was great,
Yes, yes,
right?
yes.
Pretty good.
Yeah. And
I
one
forget
thing
the,
though
I forget the actress who played Dolores.
that's
Evan Rachel Wood.
Yeah, Evan Rachel Wood.
Evan
Yeah.
Rachel, right? She, her arc was great as well.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Wright and Anthony Hopkins, their arcs were great.
Yes.
The guy who played William, that arc just fell flat.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Simpson, who I
Yeah.
saw before in a movie, but or
Yeah.
TV show, but for the life of me,
Right.
I can't remember. He
And
has
then
one of those
this
faces.
fella, James Marsden.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
He plays
it was okay. I didn't really care for the arc all that much. And then Ed Harris had a decent enough arc as well.
Of course, yeah.
I like
Ed
what they
Harris
did
is like the and he is technically the antagonist. He's pretty much the
Eh.
character what Yul Brynner was. But
Well, I
just with
thought I
dialogue.
kind of personally I kind of hated what they did with that resolution, but it was alright and it was good. But it wasn't great. It was
Yeah.
just, and I think the problem is that because the show that I'll compare it to, that immediately had me in my head was Battlestar Galactica and Caprica.
Oh, I
The
see.
whole,
Which
the whole
honestly, I know. Sumi, I have not seen them. I know I
see
should
what
see them. I
Battlestar
haven't seen.
Galactica,
I've seen like probably like a season or two, but I haven't watched the whole thing yet.
dude. Battlestar is like a classic show, dog.
I
Wow, dog.
know, I know,
Anyway,
I know. Time.
Caprica is a show you could skip, but I thought Caprica was pretty solid, especially coming down to the end. But you could skip Caprica if you want. But Battlestar is, to me, is a kind of must see, even though they kind of fuck up the ending.
Well, that I think that's why those takes so long to finish it up. I guess.
Right.
But anyway.
Anyway, yeah, and to me, Battlestar did, the whole AI androids waking up to the real nature stuff so much better, even though it's totally different context. So this one more Blade Runner-esque and is about,
Yeah, good reference there with Blade Runner.
right. Yeah, and all the androids kind of just waking up and they, okay, they live in a world that kind of cool and humans kind of hate them. And then, they do a whole thing with that whole ending, especially Tandy Newton's arc, especially. I thought that was pretty good, actually.
Yes,
quite
yes,
well
yes.
done. One simple reason this might get a 10 out of 10 is because we get see a lot of Tandy Newton backside in this. Great.
Yes.
Love it.
Very,
Like,
very.
yes.
I have to give
Lot of
credit where
backside.
credit is due. Just for her to have the courage to do these nude scenes, I was like, wow.
Yeah,
'Cause,
just
I
a
mean,
lot of Tandy
Evan
Newton,
only
but
did like
you're not
about a
wrong.
couple, but other than that,
And
though,
I was in love with her. I was in love with her since Mission Impossible 2. So
hey, we on the same boat here. Hey.
I was always a big fan of her. She's still looking good, like wood.
Yeah, right.
And then we get to see some.
Yeah, her actor was fantastic as well too.
Right,
But
and then we
what
get
I
to
love,
see.
that's what I love about her character is that at first you think that she's just the madam and all she has to do is just to talk explicitly and encourage guys to have sex, but it's how her character plays out and how her character kind of changes. You get to see more depth into her character. I really loved how they did that, and it worked.
Yeah, I just and then also on top another 10 out of 10 reason is we get to see some Tessa Thompson backside as well. Like what? Like against some cake, right? So
Yep.
But yeah, character acting was quite good in this. Everybody delivered stuff good. You didn't feel flat or weak. Everybody was pretty good. Jeffrey Wright especially. I really enjoyed. I think he might get a nomination for something. This might get some nominations. I thought it was pretty solid.
I think
that
it
way.
needs to. Yeah.
Right. Anthony Hopkins was quite good in this. I don't know. Overall, it's solid business for me. But I couldn't get myself to truly love it or say, wait, boy, this is a mind-blowing thing. Because other shows did it so much better. Well, I shouldn't say better, but other shows did it in its own way that just made me think about it. And it just kind of didn't really bring anything new to the table. I should say that.
I see.
Well, another reason I think my brain was always on the whole artificial intelligence waking up and you should acknowledge them from a moral standpoint kind of stuff is Fallout 4. Fallout 4, pretty much the whole plot is about that. The whole major plot is about dealing with artificial intelligence and whether or not they should serve you and whether or not they should have moral engagement and agency and whether or not you should acknowledge that. And so I think I was accustomed to the arguments, even though Fallout 4 was a crap story.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah, no, the main story is complete rubbish. But the game had a lot of good shooting in it, and so I don't care.
Yeah. Once you could shoot people. Woo.
Yeah, once you can shoot people, especially nothing is be funny as seeing what you call the mini nuke hit somebody in VATS. That's the funniest thing ever. Yeah,
Okay.
never get old. Never get old.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll say overall, I'll give this one a pretty high score still. I'll probably give it like something along the lines of a B plus, A minus level.
Right.
I still recommend it. Especially if you're not a big sci-fi person and you're not familiar with these concepts. I thought they would have got into the ethics and morality stuff a little better, but didn't really do that. And the main plot and the main resolution of what was the whole final thing, it wasn't that interesting or engaging in my opinion. To me, it was like, okay, this is what it is. I'm like, all right, that kind of cool. But they kind of hammer you over the head with it a little too much. So at a certain point I didn't care. But it was all right. Still solid business. I again give it about B plus. That's how I see it.
All right. Well, my thoughts on it. I understand where you're coming from. I see what you mean. Makes sense.
Right.
Well, I would say going into it, I really didn't know what to expect. I just knew it was about this world. So I just kind of went in sort of blind, kind of just like, okay, this is going to be HBO's take on Westworld. So I'm not expecting that it's going to be like all centered on Ed Harris's character just go around doing, evil stuff now. Like, I knew there was more to it. And when it got a little deeper, a little darker, and one thing, this show is very, 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 I wouldn't say very dark, but it goes into some very dark corners,
Yeah,
especially
it's very
in relation
existential.
to humans. So it
Right.
goes beyond, okay, this is how lawless the Wild West was, and this is how
Right.
heartless people used to be, and this is how the life is. Like how I mentioned before, somebody could just come outside and just shoot a guy, and that's just it. That's nobody
Right.
cares. But it goes into like just the deeper, darker side of humanity itself, and how it's in us to be violent, in us it's in us to hate and kill because it's part of us.
Right.
And
That's a big part of it, because when it started like that, I was like, okay, because I knew it was Westworld, and I was like, oh shit, it's basically that thing. I immediately knew it was simulation stuff. So all the cowboy stuff just kind of fell flat for me, because like, yeah, none of these people suffering really. But then when they reveal the whole thing with it, they do a good job with that and making the whole, well, the memory stuff and how sloppy this company is at
yeah.
dealing with the memory stuff. And then you realize, oh no, they weren't that sloppy. It have more shenanigans going on behind the scenes. Then that was interesting. But most of the stuff that I couldn't care less about a lot of the cowboy stuff, because like, yeah, this was not really suffering or dying, not in any serious way.
Okay,
It had a
well,
couple moments. It only had a couple really tight moments. There's this one great moment with Ed Harris on a horse that I loved.
yeah. Well, the Western moments I just kind of see as just entertainment wise.
Right.
And one thing though, well, I haven't mentioned before earlier. There was this recent review. I think we talked about. I think it was for the Magnificent Seven or one of those shows, where I brought up the term revisionist Western,
Right.
right? Which is basically taking the old tropes of Western movies, making it much more bigger, bolder, more violent, a little bit more modern, if you will, but doing it in such a way that it's touching on a certain issue. So it's not just okay, a massacre, like Indians running, Indians killing people out just because it's part of the genre. It's touching on some deeper topic. And
Right.
with this show here, I got a sense of that. Like I saw these moments happening, like the shootout, sorry, that take place. And at first it was like, oh well, this is Westworld, so you come in and you see all these things, you could do what you want. But then as it started to get a little bit more existential, I started to think, well, okay, so this is where such is really how
Right.
bad humans could be.
Right.
Case in point, we saw this with this character who was with William. He was the guy who basically owned Delos, which is the company that pretty much either
Right.
they helped or they created Westworld.
Right.
I'm forgetting this guy's name though, but
Yeah, I know you're talking about
right.
the character.
uh,
The guy who just wanted to while out in Westworld. Yeah.
yes.
Right.
And what I like though is that at first, like, he comes off like this arrogant prick basically. So he
Right.
just kind of comes in like, yeah, I could do whatever I want, I could fuck, I could drink, I could do whatever I want, that kind of thing. But then and you're comparing him to William's character, who just there because he wants to see the world as well too, but he keeps telling himself, all right, I have to go back home, I have I have to get married soon and all that kind of stuff. But then all that changes when he runs into Dolores, and yes, he falls in love. That's all I'll
Right.
say about that at that point in time. But the way how their characters change throughout, and then up until like about the 9th to the 10th episode, is like, oh my god, boy, like it's like complete 180 these characters did not. And it's all based off of one thing that the guy told William, is that um you will become the person that you always wanted to be. And that's one thing that I got out of this show, where it's about characters, both human and machine, in
Right.
this world. And it's something happens to them, and it kind of reveals it reveals who they really are inside.
Right.
So in the case of, say, Tandy Newton's character, for example, at first you're thinking, oh, she's just this attractive madam she's just all about getting guys to sleep with her, or sleep with her workers or whatnot. But it's not like that. When you go deep and you learn about the story, or at least the backstory that she's given,
Right.
then you kind of understand, okay, this is why her character changes, and this is why she's doing this now. But she's still making decisions, even though, because of her character changing, and now she's making certain decisions as compared to before. So you look at her totally different. Even right down
Right.
to Dolores, who kind of comes off like this sweetheart, like, she's the I don't want to call her the virginal character, but she is the pure character. She's the person who, as they say in the first episode, you wouldn't hurt a fly, you know. But
Right.
at the very end of the first episode, what does she do? She kills a
Slap the
fly.
fly.
Yeah,
Yeah, slap the fly. Yeah.
yeah. And like deep down inside, it kind of reveals something dark about her. And
Right.
throughout the series, we realize what it is and why she's feeling like that. And you know, same thing goes for all the characters, even right down to Anthony Hopkins, who at first I felt was playing like this real subdued character. Like one thing about the human characters in the show, I would say that they cuss a lot, but they do curse a lot though. And I was just thinking, oh well, you know, it's just human beings being humans now. So any little thing that irritates them or pisses them off, they're always quick to swear. But Anthony is always like the type of character who just won't say one curse word. Even right down to the final episode, he just straight, you know. He doesn't kind of deviate from, you know, his character. But yeah, the character development was well handled. And what I like though, what I really loved about the show is that, you know, I wasn't sure where certain character arcs were going to go. Like at first, I got the idea of how monotonous the lives of the hosts are, but then as the story developed, I was like, oh well, you know, it's things started to get a little different. I really love that. Um,
Right.
what else? The music from I keep forget. All right, forgive me if I say this name wrong. Ramin Jawadi, sorry,
Okay.
who does the music for Game of Thrones, you know, that
Right.
epic score for it, and quite recently did the music for Warcraft.
Right.
Yeah, but what I loved about his score here is that it has that epicness. Not too much of it though, but he uses like, you know, traditional um musical instruments that you would expect from a Western movie. You know, the violins, the guitar, what else? The acoustic guitar, sorry, the pianos and stuff. I love how he used that in the movie. Sorry, in this series, but
Yeah.
he gave it this kind of tech sort of techno sort of flourish to it.
Right.
Cinematography was great. I love the locations,
Yeah. Yeah.
most of which was
Yeah.
shot in like in Utah and in California and stuff.
Right.
So yes, on a technical level, this is some superb filmmaking. You know, for a
Right.
TV show, HBO didn't disappoint again. This is another solid production. But for me, the overall, what stuck the most out was just that story and how where it led to certain things. I love the idea of how they use the word narrative. Because first I was like, all right, narrative, narrative, narrative. All right, so
Right.
people come in, different hosts have different narratives. So you come in, and it depends on where you go. You go on a different adventure. So it's like one of those old books that used to come out in the 80s, where you know you pick an adventure. I think that's what it's called. You know,
Yeah, very
yeah,
much. What it does that's another problem I had with the candidate narrative because I didn't get how Westworld worked exactly. Like you have to pick narratives, but I didn't get wait, how many humans in the park at once? Because they say how everything could you could potentially bounce up each other, but then statistically, like people should be constantly bouncing up each other. So
well, true,
little,
yeah,
little things like that bothered me, but I didn't mind.
yeah.
Because
Well,
they just show a few people, but I was like wondering, wait, how many people here exactly? Because
yeah.
it was unclear now of who was there. So it's not some people who was clearly human because of how they behaving and behaving like jackasses. But other people was like just trying to play the game for real. You're not sure. Some people
Yeah.
like hiding out there. Right. So I didn't get angry. They say how you could potentially kill a person. 'Cause I think it was mentioned how manslaughter is somewhat possible. You kind of have to sign that off now when playing the game.
Right. Well,
so
humans
let's
can
stop like
kill can kill hosts. That's
Right,
the
yeah.
catch.
Humans
But
kill,
hosts can't kill
humans kill
humans.
the robots easy. But what I was thinking is that humans can kill humans as well. It's quite possible.
Yeah,
From what I
right,
understand.
right.
Not with guns, but with like probably knives or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well,
It was little
yeah.
stuff like that was just not fleshed out very well. At least I didn't get that or didn't I probably missed the detail somewhere.
Well. As I brought up that's one thing that I know might turn off some people about this show, and like even when I was watching it, because I actually binged it yesterday at the time of this recording, is that there are certain little things that will. All right, it does leave you asking questions, which is a great thing, but there are little tiny things like, for example, you know, if I, you know, the whole idea of, you know, can hosts kill humans and all that kind of stuff. So what I was wondering is like, you know, the firearms that they have, is it that the firearms that they get are specifically designed to kill hosts, and if so, then what if it falls and you switch it with a gun that a host has? Then you're wondering would that have any effect on it or whatever. Just these little tiny little things. That's the little tiny nitpicks. But what I love about the show is that it doesn't focus on the little tiny little things. It's all about the bigger questions. It's all about and yes, they're all two familiar teams. Of course, you've seen it with Blade Runner and to an extent Interstellar. The whole idea of being this greater power in the universe for one part, and then of course identity and consciousness and whatnot. And that's one topic that this show is all about. Consciousness. What happens when an android becomes conscious of it? Of itself. What happens? And how the show plays out with this whole narrative thing is that okay, they are aware, but now you realize wait, now they are aware for a reason. It's all part of this greater plan, or is it just a narrative? Is it just a story that's supposed to begin and end? When it ends, what happens? Does it continue or does it start back again? And all these little things. And final thing I will say before I get to my rating, because I could talk for so long about this. I have to give credit where credit is due. This is like Jonathan Nolan's Inception. This is his Interstellar. This is the movie that sorry, this is the series that you could tell he always wanted to do because he created, but it's like watching your brother direct these masterpieces, these movies that you have to watch over to really get more understanding of it. You could tell this is what he wanted to do, and because he's such a great writer, because he wrote mostly the scripts for these episodes, you could see that sort of memento style showing up, the flash forward, the flashback. You as a viewer asking yourself, wait now, is this a flashback or a flash forward? Because that was me in the last two episodes. Wait, so all this I was watching here was a flashback and not a flash forward. I wouldn't say which character, and it just blew my mind up. But I remember with the review with Arrival, where I had I consciously had to be careful where I can't just be like, oh well, it's not a flashback, it's a flash forward. Wow, I have to think about it from the perspective of the story. Does it work with the story? And I thought that it worked brilliantly. I really was amazed by the story. No, I wouldn't say it's a perfect show. There are some. Oh, all right. Well, pacing wise, all right. Well, I would say that there are some, some downtime. There's lots of downtime in the show, where you see characters, talk and interact with each other, and sometimes the pacing of it could be a little slow at times. They could be talking a little too much or too little, and but in relation to how everything plays out, I thought it worked. It's just that the pacing could be just a little tighter, and then consider because these episodes are nearly an hour long, it really shows. So yes, there are a few moments in these episodes where it feels like it's dragging, but
I find it dragged a little bit.
It does. So it kind of took more off a little bit, but fortunately the show always finds a way to pick itself back up, whether it's with a character or decision made or just some twists in the story. And there's lots of twists, lots of turns in this series. And like I said before, it really touches on violence and just the violent nature of humanities, and using just the Western genre as the backdrop as the perfect example for this. And just looking back at like those revisionist westerns that I just that subgenre where it's not so much about the fun of riding on a horse and chasing down Indians, but just why would you do that? Why would you shoot a man down in the middle of the street just because just because it's lawless, And I love like in the last couple of episodes where you got that whole God and human kind of thing. So it's like yes, God gave us a brain. He gave us the chance for us to figure things out and not just be slaves and whatnot. We figure things out on our own, but is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? And if you look back at history, it's not that much of a good thing. Yes, we could think for ourselves, but look at all the shit that's happened in history. Wars and all that kind of stuff. And I like how the show touches on that, not too much, but enough for you to be like, so, I could compare.
I'll say the real strength of the film is when Anthony Hopkins has his little monologue soliloquy moments. Those work quite well because he does do these little look so and so humanity so and so because
and he does that though was very chilling, by the way.
Because he did little references to the Sistine Chapel, which was great. Even though I'm
Yeah,
not sure if that's true. If it was meant to
neither
be
me. Yeah, that
I don't
point
think
that
that's
he
true
made there, I
what he
don't
mentioned,
think
but it was
so.
such a nice little cool reference.
Yeah.
Because it's a popular. I'm not sure if it's a myth, but I think it is. But it is a popular enough myth to fit in a narrative like this. They do a good job with that. The whole part where he explained, he said, look, humans. You think humans are gonna accept you for what you is? Quite possible that you're gonna have trouble to deal with. So that might be a bad move. And he make a lot of good points in that sense now.
Yeah.
And yeah, overall, Jeffrey Wright as well also had his moments. It's like, oh shit, when they revealed the big thing about Jeffrey
the
Wright,
big twist about him. Yeah,
right,
that was
the big
crazy.
reveal with him, I was like, oh, that's so good, so well done, and they have a great metric of what it is, the importance and stake of these characters. So when the stakes matter, they do really matter. You really get a sense of it and a sense of weight with it. And you see that with the three main characters. When I kind of look at the three Locust characters, which was Anthony Hopkins' character Ford, this is Bernard, and then Tandy Newton's character, what's her name? Maeve, right. Yeah, those are the three kind of Locust characters in that sense, in terms of that existential aspect of everything now, from both the objective and subjective standpoint. Go ahead.
And what was I supposed to mention? Yes, Ed Harris, I thought he was great. I thought, like, to me, you could tell he was really enjoying himself being this bad guy, though, the man in black.
Right.
And at first, like, the first few episodes, thinking, oh, he's supposed to be the Yul Brynner character. And slight spoiler alert, there is a scene, I believe is either in episode 6 or 7, where Jeffrey Wright's character, Bernard, is going inside of this room looking for a particular something. And you could see in the background this figure dressed in black with the black hat, black suit, and the hands are in its pockets. And it's it reminded me a lot of like Yul Brynner's character, where every time he walked, he always had his hands in his pockets. Before he even reaches for his gun, he always walked with his hands in his pockets. I was like, oh, clever reference. And they also make reference to other shows as well too, notably Blade Runner. Not just with the teams, but there was like one scene in the final episode which reminded me of like Daryl Hannah's scene. Well, before she gets shot, actually, in Blade Runner, where she's like hiding within this multitude of like dolls. So it's like she's playing that she's inanimate, but actually she's real and all that kind of stuff. So I thought that was real cool. So to me, this was like a excellent modern take on the whole 70s dystopian movies that used to come, dystopian sci-fi movies that came out in the 70s, like of course Westworld, Logan's Run. I thought it was convenient that this guy, the guy who was the a-hole happens to be Logan.
Okay, right. I don't know.
That's what I thought at the time.
Okay, I don't really get
what else? Silent Running, Soylent Green, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But to me though, I mean, like I said, I don't want to jump on any bandwagons or anything like that. But I have to admit, this is one of the best shows I have seen this year. TV-wise.
Yeah, it was solid business. It was really solid business.
And yes, the season finale blew me away, Joe. Like, yes, you saw things coming, but I was like, wait, they're going to do this? Really going to do this? And then when it happened, I was like, oh my god. This was one where the payoff actually worked, though. It worked excellently. So in closing, I have to give this a light 4.5 out of 5 stars. This is hands down one of the best shows I have seen this year. The acting was great. The stories were well written. Yes, there are a few things that will fly over your heads and will kind of force you to go and rethink, if not rewatch the episodes. And I have no problem with that. But you have to think about like how, say, like Arrival, for example, where it's like, oh well, this worked, so now I have to go back and think about it. But did it work really? Did the payoff really work in the end? Which I felt was kind of with Arrival, although I still enjoyed the movie. But I thought that with the payoff with this one, I thought it worked excellently. Can't wait to see what they do with season 2. Yes, the way how it ends, you could tell they're gonna have a season 2. But the way how it ends is like, oh my god, where is the story gonna go next? And I really can't wait to see. So HBO has done it once again. They brought us a show that, I mean, at its surface level, it is entertaining. I mean, it looks good. Acting was great. You have your typical, raunchiness. You have your sex. You have your violence, which you can expect in like nearly every HBO show. But underneath it all, you have all these, these really thought provoking themes, about individuality and consciousness and just about being human, what it is about being human. I know a lot of people might go into this and be like really confused by it and think, oh, it's boring and it makes no sense. But you really have to dig in deep and really think about what it is. You really think about what's going on. And in
Right.
closing, I'll just say this much though. I strongly recommend not just that you see the show, but also that you binge it. And in
Yeah, you
total,
kind
it's
of have to
about
binge
a
it.
10.5 hours. But why I say that is because you have to see things unfold. I can't really
Yeah.
think that if you watch these episodes like one a day or one every 2 3 days, that you're gonna get everything at the end. You have to see
Yeah. Yeah.
everything really play out. And yes, at the
Right.
very end, you might get everything, but dude, the mere fact that I wanna go back and watch this show again to see what it is I missed out. The mere fact that I wanna go online and hear what other people say about it, or read up analysis about what these little symbols or what this means and what this character arc was supposed to signify and all that stuff. It's evident of great television. I think that Westworld is great television. HBO has
Right.
done it again. Great show. Highly recommend it. Go see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Strong recommend for me as well. I thought I would have loved it more, but it was still solid. Solid business overall for me. Pretty damn good. Yeah, I totally recommend it as well.
Yeah. So, Jonathan Nolan, keep doing your thing. Can't wait to see what you do next with season 2. I
Right.
definitely can't
Okay.
wait. So, moving along from sci-fi to comedy, drama slash tragic. It's not really
Yeah.
it's not really a tragic comedy, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Yeah.
Right.
Insecure, which was a show that I was completely under my radar. I didn't even know
Right.
about it. And I would confess
Well,
something here quick. I have heard about Issa Rae's stuff a lot, but I haven't seen
Right.
anything from her. I haven't checked out her
Right. Yeah. So
her
I
Awkward
I
Black Girl YouTube series.
right.
But whatever.
So I was somewhat marginally familiar with Awkward Black Whale. I remember watching some videos when it first came out, and then I never really followed it.
Okay.
It was
But I know
decent
people
stuff.
who see it though and love it. A lot of
Right. She has a fan.
girlfriends that I know actually love the show.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, she has a fan base. It's a strong, very strong YouTube following. So it was to me it was just a matter of time when she gets something big and blow up from there. I actually really like the show. This was really damn good though. The quick comparison you make in your head is, well, it's the female Atlanta.
Yeah,
And,
it is.
uh,
It feels like it.
I
But
could.
what I would say with this one is that this is more about relationships, especially with
Right.
with African Americans, and not so
Right.
much about social issue.
Well,
Sorry,
okay.
day-to-day
It does
social
both.
life really.
I won't go as far as saying it's the female Atlanta. It really does its own thing. It's very prescient. It's perfect for, it's just basically dealing in black millennial anxiety. That's what it does very well.
Yeah.
The first episode in particular, the whole insecure as fuck. Oh, by the way, every episode is as
yeah,
fuck,
ends with as fuck.
which I love. Right. And it had its really genuinely deep moments in it. I thought it was really, really good. Most of the episodes, I noticed it was created by both Issa Rae and Larry Wilmore. And, well, quick little rant, Larry Wilmore had a show on Comedy Central. It got cancelled.
What
Even
was
though I
the
would
name of
say-
that show?
What was the name of that show, boy? What was the name of this? Oh, the Nightly Show.
Okay.
The Nightly Show with Larry Wilmore. Yeah. Is a show that did it deserve to get cancelled? Yeah, I would have cancelled it too, but I get the feeling it didn't really get the fairest of shakes. And, well, at the same time, he himself is a very dated black comedian. It's stuff that would have worked back in the 90s, but it doesn't really work so well now.
Oh wow,
Um,
he's so real out it, but wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he's that guy. He's that guy where a lot of his stuff would have been really like cutting edge and great in the 90s, but it didn't really work that well now. And his show didn't really get off the ground and it couldn't really find its footing. So I could understand why it got cancelled. And it kind of got cancelled at a bad time, but whatever.
I see.
Anyway, you could see its fingerprints all over this script because it had its moments where it felt more like 90s black people talking about shit rather than modern black 30-year-olds talking about shit. It felt a little bit like that at
Alright,
times.
all right. I just take it of this example. Like, remember Boomerang? With Eddie Murphy, Robin Givens,
Yes.
that kind of thing.
Yes, it had
So
those
you know,
moments.
like those moments, like when Eddie was in the gym and
Yeah.
Well, of course, it's
It had
about
those
those moments when they're talking about, this is
It
how
felt,
women
that's
act.
what I say, it
Yeah.
felt a little dated. It felt like at times, a couple times, you could tell, all right, Larry Wilmore has had influence on this part of the script.
Okay.
Because little things like they had this one moment, so the character who I actually liked, but she ended up coming across a little bit like a caricature, was Molly.
Oh yeah, played by Yvonne Orji, who is very attractive,
Molly.
by the way. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. She reminded me of the tall black girl from Girlfriends, if you remember that show.
I remember the show. I remember not watching the show.
I just remember the show. The show ever so often. The only thing that used to be interesting about the show is like Kelsey Grammer was heavily involved in production. I was like, what?
Oh, what?
Kelsey
Okay.
Grammer. Yeah, what Kelsey Grammer had to do with black women, whatever.
I don't know.
Anyway, this show had its moments. It had this one, like, her character and her pathologies end up popping up, and it's like, yeah, this is a kind of cliche black woman thing, and it's like, wait, there's still a problem for black women? All right, I'm willing to accept it. I'm not a black woman, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Not a black American woman, so I don't know. So I'm willing to take the word for it. But
not
yeah,
even
it felt
about
like
being American. Well, when you think about it, it's really just.
But I think it was her character in particular who kind of threw me off, because it was this classic, well, the black woman who's sacrificing the good for the perfect all the time, and she wants to have this, that, or the other, and she dropped this man because of this small slight that she think is a problem, and so on and so forth. And I was like,
but
that's
what
really
I like is that people did call her out on that though.
Well, it's only until the end, because that episode 7, jeez, boy, that was some just gut punches right through for everybody.
Yes, but yeah.
Yeah. I really liked it though. This show, Isa as a character was great. She exemplified what, kind of awkward black girl would be going through, and it did a good job of just having a great character, just a great character overall. Another kind of a complaint is that the men in the show are a little two-dimensional. They're a little too perfect, a little too good.
Efficacy.
Well, yeah.
Why I say that, because there's this one guy.
Everything.
All right, if I could just kind of run down quick as to what it's about, right? So,
Right.
Isa plays. She's not really playing herself, so she's playing Isa D, not Isa Ray. And
yes.
Yeah, she works at oh gosh, what is it?
It's
so like,
yeah, it's
like
what?
It's kind of like to help kids.
Yeah, it's a reach out program.
A reach
I
out
think
program,
it's with, yeah, what is to help people. What is we're here for y'all or something like that. I
Something
forget
like
what
that,
it's
Right.
Yeah.
So she has a boyfriend basically, but I mean they had a rough times and all that. And you could tell that this guy is trying to make his way. So, he's looking for job openings, and he's trying to get a job. He's trying to keep a job and all that kind of stuff. But then later on in this series, she runs into an old flame of hers who just so happens to be like a producer. And that's all we know is that, yeah, he's a producer. He produced for like, Drake. And anyways, this is one scene where you're seeing with Ty Dolla $ign and all that kind of stuff. But then then there's this whole thing where she sleeps with him. And he's trying to get back. He's trying to want to know what's going on. But I see what you mean with the whole two-dimensional kind of stuff. That it's just all against the rival, basically.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say is that everything the guys do in this is fully justified. You get the feeling that everything they do is fully justified, and they're totally the victims, and the women are these big figures of agency, and they're the ones who make mistakes and incredibly flawed, and so on. So, okay, yeah. I kind of get that. I kind of get why they write these characters like that. But they should give the characters a little couple of flaws. You didn't get any flaws from them. I didn't get a sense of them being any kind of bad agent at all. But whatever, it was not a big problem because the story still totally worked.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's about them making mistakes and them kind of fucking up even though they shouldn't fuck up. But yeah, it's still totally working that narrative. Yeah, and the whole thing with her sleeping with the old flame, the guy from high school, just hilarious.
Yeah.
And how that come out eventually was like, oh jeez, right?
Yeah, that was harsh.
Yeah,
you knew it was coming, huh? But when it happened, it was like, oh.
Yeah, she wasn't getting away with that shit too easy. But then when the only fallout from it happened was like, wow, brutal. I still think this was really well executed. Overall.
Yeah.
It had her boss was one of the security guards from Orange Is the New Black. Yes, her boss. Her boss had the reach out.
I try to remember which character. See, once again. Origin Black characters. I just keep forgetting right now.
It was one of the guards. One of the guards. It was this woman
the big
one of
one,
security
kind of chubbyish one.
Yeah.
Right. I know you're talking about, but that name. I mean, I know the face looked familiar. I was like, geez, where I know her from? But yeah, now I know.
Then we had little good side characters. A little white friend, a little nerdy white friend. In the work, she was great.
Yeah.
The pyro.
The girl though, the little girl who. Oh gosh, she's not Hispanic, but the one who kind of always always want to know, well, why I have to do this for. I liked her. She was real smart.
Right, she was okay. Yeah, she was pretty decent. The character that had me cracking up was the pyro neighbor. Oh my gosh, that character is so hilarious.
No, it's blood actually. He was
Pyro.
Okay,
A pyro.
all right, I saw him as a blood though. He was like
A pyro. That's what a pyro is. A blood.
Okay. Sorry, my ebonics.
A pyro
I'm
name.
misplaced my ebonics dictionary, but yeah.
PI. No, it's not hero. It's not ebonics. PIRU. That's the official name of the original names of the bloods. However,
Right.
moving on.
Well, what I like
But
though is
black people anthropology.
Yeah, he reminded me a lot of Okay, that's going off on a little rap tangent here for a minute. YG, right? Rapper
Yes.
from LA, and yes, there's a lot of references to LA rap. So yeah,
Right.
so he brought out an album this year called Still Breezy, which, spoiler alert, made it to my top 10 best hip hop albums of the year list.
Right.
So, and yes, he's the guy who sung the Fuck Donald Trump song, which I absolutely love.
Right.
Awesome song if you haven't listened to it. But anyway, so he is a blood and well, pyro, whatever, right? And he has this one song called Bull, Bomb, and Belected. Instead of cool,
Right.
calm, and collected. So the
Right.
idea is that because you're a blood,
joke.
you have
You
to
don't say- you don't say
the C because C is crip.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
C is totally, unwarranted now,
And they had that bit going on throughout the whole thing. I was like, this
Yeah.
real notice though, but it's so funny and so well done.
Yeah, and the other daughter's like, wait, we don't say the C. We don't
Yeah.
use the word C around here. No, sorry.
Yeah,
we
what
don't use
TV
the
show
C
they
word
was-
around
what-
here.
Yeah, what TV show this guys? Watch way at it is.
I can't remember what it was.
No, BBS.
Oh, KBS. Yeah,
Yeah,
you say
BBS.
BBS.
Yeah, I said
Don't you
BBS.
mean
Yeah.
KBS? Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa.
you know?
We don't use the C word around here.
And then how he does cuss all the time, but he can't cuss in front of the daughter, so he just spell out the whole words and you end up spelling out entire
Yeah, so
sentences.
ASSHOL.
I did. They seriously needed to do more with that guy, Joe. That was hilarious, Joe.
Yeah. I wanted more to it. Only sound like in a few moments, but whatever.
But the show it mixed comedy quite well. It was genuinely funny. It
Yeah.
did the emotion quite well. It kind of fell into the typical kind of tropes and trappings coming down to the end there, but it still was really well done.
Yeah.
Really well done. Actually quite heartbreaking. They actually make it work. They
Yeah.
actually make it for all of these characters. And yeah, especially when they do the ending with the boyfriend and kind of thing. Again, they kind of make it a little too perfect, but the way what they had them do with the ending with that girl from the bank is all well
yeah,
wood.
it was
Like, well,
was
yep.
jaw-dropping though.
Yeah, that's it. yeah,
Yeah.
well wood. It was good.
Yeah.
And solid series.
Well, all right. Well, I'll say this much before I rate it.
Right.
I also enjoyed the show as well too. I loved how
Yeah.
just similar to Atlanta, how real and authentic it felt.
Yeah,
like,
they tried to
no, I'm
make it
not
as
from
authentic.
LA, so I wouldn't know how people, act and talk and
Right.
live their lives. But I felt like this was like a slice of life kind of thing. Like this is how
Right.
people in that area are, and this is how life is.
Right.
I also like that it's not about compared to Atlanta, it's not really touching on social issues like crime and violence and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's really more focusing on relationships, about
Right.
being in a relationship or trying to stay single and wanting to go out there and find that significant other, and how hard it is to really maintain that. That's something I could relate to, really.
Right.
The way how the characters were handled, I like that. I do agree with the male characters, where yes, they did things, but it just always felt like they did it because of this situation, and they never really
Right.
felt sorry about it. But the women
Yeah,
now have
because-
to hold on to this baggage because of who they are and that kind of stuff, and because it's the show is really centered on women anyway, so it's always about
Right.
them feeling bad about what happened, especially that
Right.
season finale, which by the way was a huge gut punch to me. By that last
Yeah.
few minutes, but I
Yeah.
was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
ouch. That really brought the drama. I mean,
Yeah,
it
that
always
did
had
work.
moments of drama, but that moment was like, jeez,
Right.
wow.
And it was solid business. For me overall, I actually really like this. Actually give this solid A minus for me. For its 8 episodes, it was just some short business, but just solid work. What another thing I noticed about it is it focuses on areas of a lot of racist use. So in Atlanta, you have Atlanta, which has a big black presence and big black population, and then you have Los Angeles. So they didn't get into race all that much, but there's a big presence, and they make it work for the most part.
Yeah.
So that is it. It's solid. I really hope she gets a second season, a strong second season. I really hope she gets renewed. I think she will, more than likely.
Actually, it has. Yeah, it
Right,
is
cool.
renewed for a
Right,
second
good,
season.
lovely.
So.
I'm glad it got renewed. It was really, really well done. Really want to see more from this world. What they're going to do with second season. And she was just genuinely funny and great. And overall, and she did, in my opinion, she's pretty damn attractive, in my opinion. And her
No,
friend.
she is.
Yeah.
I would say that much.
Pretty-
I was more looking at her friend, well, the character Molly. Yeah, but
Right.
Issa's fine. She's fine. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
attractive.
yeah.
But I would say this inclusion though, because I haven't seen Awkward Black Hill, this was like the perfect introduction for me in terms of her style. I like the humor as well too. I like how they kind of had this sort of how they touch on hip hop as well too, because one thing
Right.
about her character
Oh, yeah,
is that
great
she
soundtrack
kind
to
of
it.
talks to herself, so she's always rapping about what she's gonna do.
Right.
The Broken Pussy song, by the way, is
Right.
funny as hell. If you haven't
Yeah.
heard it, I think maybe the videos on YouTube, whatever, go check it out. Yeah, the music
Yeah.
was fine as well too. One song
Yeah.
that I was surprised that they actually added in was this rapper Vince Staples' song North North.
Yeah.
Yeah. They played it at the end credits of one of the episodes, but basically it's off of his Summertime '06 album, which came out last year, which I enjoyed, but it didn't make my top 10. But point what I'm making with this is that that song was kind of, it came back into the, it was made relevant this year when I don't know if you saw this video, this white mother basically just went up on just recorded herself talking about, oh, I was driving home with my daughter and I heard this song on the radio and I have a print out of the lyrics. I'm gonna read this. How could they play
I
this
saw
song
that,
on radio, man? I ain't scared
Right,
of nothing
right.
but the police. North Side Long Beach. What kind
Right,
of
right,
music is
right.
this?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that song was kind of made big because of that particular video. I like
Right.
how they added it into this series as well. So that was clever. But yeah, otherwise I give this a decent 4 to 5. It's
Yeah.
definitely worth checking out.
Yeah.
If you're a huge fan of Awkward Black Hill, then why
Yeah.
why haven't you seen this? If you haven't, definitely
Right.
go see it. And if you haven't, then yeah, give this one a look. It's like 8 episodes, so probably
Right.
about a 4 hours binge time.
Yeah, it
in
does.
total,
No, but I find it was a perfect time for that. It just moved with the story quite well now. You
Yeah,
didn't waste
yeah,
too
it
much
did.
time. Everything, nothing felt, at no point it ever felt it ever felt like a lot of the fat was trimmed now. At
Yeah.
no point it ever felt like it was stretched out, or to me some of Westworld could have get cut in my opinion. But this I thought was just straight. Everything was just flowing in terms of narrative. They get from point A to point B, had the problems, raise conflict, solve
Yeah.
conflict, sort it out, and then move on.
Yeah.
And good foreshadowing for season 2. I
Yeah.
really liked it. Solid business.
Yeah, me
Really-
too. It was
Yeah.
real, it was raw, it was raunchy,
Yeah.
and I stress
I'll
the word
say- I'll-
raw
I'll say
because
I-
the dialogue
I'll
could get
say
explicit at times.
in some ways it was better than Atlanta. Some ways, but I personally still preferred Atlanta mostly because of how Atlanta just worked in terms of that, just how the zaniness of some of it and how that just worked and spinned into the narrative quite well.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of Keith Stanfield. Keith Stanfield was totally sold Atlanta. That was a breakout hit for me from Atlanta. And the show didn't have anybody like that for me. It didn't have any really good breakout characters.
It
Isa was-
could have been the that Pyro character, but unfortunately
right.
he was just
That's
there
what
for
I'm
like
saying.
what, a couple of scenes.
If they
and
had
that's-
him more,
yeah,
if they somehow could have fit him in more and make him work better. And he just had too little of him, so that I think it needed somebody like how Keith Stanfield's character was in Atlanta.
yeah,
He was just so hard and just had these great little side projects, side moments. Anyway, and I think Isa keeps saying Isa. Isa is the locus of the humor anyway, so
Yeah.
it worked in that way. Yeah, funny,
Yeah.
well done, well acted, well paced, well shot. It was actually
yes.
quite.
By the way, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, it's shot
Yeah.
very well,
But-
edited very well. Well, I forgot to
Yeah.
mention that the music was great as well too. Raphael Sadiq
Yeah, soundtrack was amazing.
actually
Yeah.
brought some original music to this. We got some some rap songs that I didn't really hear about. I was glad to hear some female hip hop as well too, because
Yeah.
that's one thing that we don't really hear much of. I mean,
Right.
oh yeah, no offense to people like Young Emmy and all that kind of stuff, but you don't
Right.
hear a lot of female MCs, on radio, and I'm glad that you heard some stuff in this show. But yeah,
Right.
other than that, solid show. Definitely check it out
Yes.
if you love that comedy drama kind of style. You're gonna love
Yeah,
this.
strongly recommend.
Right.
Strongly recommend.
So we can move from one comedy to another. The one that I haven't seen, this movie, Don't Think Twice.
Yes.
Yeah, so I haven't seen it, so fill me in on how it goes, man.
Right. So what is Don't Think Twice about? So it's made by one of my favorite stand-up comedians, Mike Birbiglia. He basically I have to say it's basically a somewhat of a love letter, hate letter to Saturday Night Live and the nature of the comedy business. And what it's about a comedy troupe. Well, it's a improv troupe actually called, I think, the Commune, if I remember correctly. And it's about basically just the idea of, it kind of hits close to home in the idea of people in the entertainment industry and the very haphazard nature of the entertainment industry, and how, you know, your friends could just get ahead and you won't get ahead, and how some people will get successful.
To that.
You're right. And it's who get ahead, who didn't get ahead, and that kind of stuff. And it's all about that. And, you know, especially with respect to age and time, and, you know, you're not sure if your career, you know, if you're not sure if you fuck up your life, yeah, you'll have these nervous moments, especially if close friends get successful and other people didn't get successful. And where does it take to put yourself out there? Sometimes you have to undermine the group and a little backbiting, and especially with the guys of comedy, where people don't really get angry and come up because they use comedy to cover up the slights and the foibles and the anger, and sometimes a lot of stuff just goes on the radar. And this movie did such a good job with that. This is probably going to make the top 10 for the year for me.
Oh, really? Is that good?
So it's a good bit of people are liking this. Keegan-Michael Key was in this.
Okay.
Right. So he was in this. Gillian from Community.
Yeah. Gillian Jacobs, who
right?
A very, very, very hilarious comedian. I love her.
Yeah, she's pretty good in this. She was in this as Keegan-Michael Key's character's girlfriend.
Okay.
Then they had, of course, Mike Birbiglia. He's playing the character that you're supposed to feel a little bad for, but you understand you're a little bit of a douchebag at the same time, so you're not sure. I forget the other two characters. Oh, this girl from, I think it have a band called Garfunkel and Oates.
Yes. I just saw a special with them on Comedy Central.
Right, yeah. What's her name, boy?
It's Kate Micucci and Tammy Saga.
Kate Micucci. Right.
Yeah. Who I think are very, very hilarious, by the way.
Right, so it's the two of them in this movie, actually. Yeah, they play two characters. It's Tammy Saga, you say, right?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think it's her. It's somebody else is the other. I forget the other girl name. Anyway, it's two of them. Anyway, Tammy Saga, she was alright in this. And who was the other guy's name, boy? He's a comedian, as I always see all the time, but I always forget his name.
Alright, I'm reading it from Wikipedia. Chris Gethard, sorry.
Probably. Because I really forget his name, but you see him around.
Who has glasses? Yes, Chris.
Yeah,
Chris Gethard.
Right.
That's him. Yep.
Right. Yeah, this was great. I thought it got into that whole, just the whole cutting deep in terms of emotions, and again, good follow up of the whole, you know, combining humor and depression and the nature of the world. And it kind of get a little existential for a second, in the sense of, it's life don't have to work out for you. You know, you know, you're very talented, you're smart, you're aware of what's going on, and you just get unlucky. You just straight luck, and then other people just get lucky and get through. You know, sometimes you may not have it, or you maybe, and you're not sure. And yeah, it gets into the whole idea of this character, Keegan-Michael Key character, Jack. He gets lucky. He's part of this comedy troupe, and he was kind of the shining star in the comedy troupe. And then they have talent scouts come ever so often. Comedy troupe real small. It's always have like a small crowd of about 20 people. They do this stuff every week or so. And what ended up happening is that he ended up breaking the momentum of a sketch just to his best work, because the talent agent, the scouting agent was there. And because of that, he and his girlfriend got through with a audition at what is Weekend Live, which is basically the Saturday Night Live allegory.
Yeah.
Right, in this world. And because she's talented, but she's just afraid of success, so she doesn't even go to the audition. And she was supposed to go at the same time with him, but she said, "Go ahead, you go." She wanted to just avoid, and she just kind of chicken out. And he went, and then he got through. So he became massively successful. And then Mike Birbiglia's character, he's like the person who trained him.
Mm-hmm.
He trained him. He's much older than him, and he never get through. And the whole idea of just being incredibly successful and wealthy, and your career, and how people will have, how success can just break up friendships because of shit like that. There's that randomness. And yeah, it just does a good job with that. I thoroughly enjoyed this personally. I didn't expect for this to be so good. This
what would you rate it? What would you rate it?
I had to give this a IMAX, a high IMAX in fact. I thought this was really damn good, Dread. It did all the emotions, everything, every anxiety about success, people who talented and afraid of success, people who talented and they want the success but they don't get it, and it just covered all these little frustrations. All sometimes you have friends who don't need the success and they get it, and you poor and they get into all of that.
Yeah.
Cover all of that in the whole film. It's really, really well done. Mike Birbiglia is again a great stand-up comedian. He did a movie before about sleepwalking. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I think it's I really forget. He did a movie on sleepwalking. I think he actually suffered from sleepwalking, so that's why he did it. Okay. I think it's called Sleepwalk with Me or something like that, like Sleepwalk Me or something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really, really like the stuff he doing in terms of like this whole, it's a whole, the comedian does serious stuff. The whole, if you know the old joke about the comedian Pagliacci, the old Pagliacci joke is that the comedian who is serious and, he said, Doctor, if you heard the old joke about the Italian,
I remember it from Watchmen. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, it's that. It's that the whole depressed comedian, putting out the emotions, and it's something that you might get fed up of, but the comedians who are doing it do such a good job with it. People like Louis C.K., Pat Oswalt, guys like that. They do a really good job with their little movies that very serious, but it's supposed to be funny at the same time, and that whole stuff now.
Jerry Lewis, and it's real because they could draw from personal experience. So,
right. Yeah. And somebody like it's since the days of Jerry Lewis. Jerry Lewis did a lot of serious shit, and he is known as one of America's greatest humorists. This I'll really, really have to congratulate Mike Birbiglia because it was very well done. This need to get nominated for something because it's so well done for me. It still had that indie film kind of feel to things, so I'm not sure if it'll get anything, but I just really thoroughly enjoyed this. Not sure what the ratings are for this because I suspect it probably like about a 70% on Rotten Tomatoes or something. But I just thoroughly enjoyed it. I just thought this was so good.
Cool.
I just thought it was so damn good for me. I had to get a damn high score. But solid.
No, I want to see it too.
It was really good. I don't know if I could get a screener for it. I don't know if it's out in pirate. I just got a good screener from a friend. They gave me the code. I looked it up. I was like, good, get it. And I watched that, and I was excited to see it from the trailer. And the main theme song they have for it is from a band I like called LL. So I was just hyped for it from that. And the trailer was so good because it featured one of the more popular songs. And I was just so hyped for that. I just thoroughly enjoyed this. I really want this. I want more people to see it because it's just so prescient and really important. Much like how Atlanta and Insecure touches on emotions for a modern, more older millennial audience, which is us who coming of age, really coming in terms of career and life and whatnot. It does that quite well in terms of your career and how to take it off and blah 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 blah, all that. Solid business, loved it.
All right, well, I will definitely look out for that. I hope to see before year's end, so it could have a spot on my best of list.
Might, not sure.
Speaking of best of list, now we have another entry in my worst of list.
Oh boy,
because I'm a sucker for pain. Yes, I is.
Yeah.
I saw The Darkness.
Right.
Which is a movie that I forgot existed until I was reminded through a couple of reviews that it was out, that it came out this year.
Right.
It's supposed to be a supernatural horror film. You could call it that, but it's not horrific. It has supernatural elements, I guess, but
you're right.
Anyway, story in a nutshell, it starts off with this family. Well, Kevin Bacon is the star. So it's Kevin Bacon and Radha Mitchell. They play husband and wife. And they have a daughter named Stephanie.
Right.
An autistic son by the name of Mikey, who I know you haven't watched Gotham, but the boy who plays Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
David Mazouz, I think his that's how he pronounces his name.
Okay.
Yeah, he plays the boy. And the thing is, like, I was watching the guy's face, like, I know this dude from somewhere. I don't know, it always happens to me. Then when I stuck around for the credits, it's like, Oh wait, that's him. Oh gosh. Anyway, but right. So they are out. They just like by the Grand Canyon, just chilling, having fun. Everything seems to be okay. They're there with friends, and the autistic boy just goes into this cave. And
Right.
I love how they make this autistic boy, actor. Like the boy is like never scared of anything. So there's a scene where the sister is telling this guy, this boy, like, yeah, that's my brother. He's not afraid of anything. So he's in the cave, and then he just happens to, like in those movies where like you walk in a particular area in a cave, and then like the bottom just gives way and you fall, and you end
Right.
up in another part. It
Yeah.
falls, and he falls on the ground, and he's not even crying or reacting or nothing. He just
Right.
falls. Boom. He sees, wait for it, he sees like about 5 or 6 black rocks,
Okay.
each with some kind of symbol on it. So what does this boy do? He grabs it, carries it home. Nobody knows.
Right.
So eventually he starts to see a bunch of weird stuff. In typical PG-13 horror fashion, a lot of jump scares, a lot of failed jump scares, nothing happens.
Right.
And then one day Mike, he sees this black portal thing, and it even starts way before that. He keeps talking about this girl named Jenny. So it's like, Jenny told me to do this, Jenny did this, Jenny did that. So he tries to burn the house down, and then when the father wants to know what's going on, it's like, Jenny told me to do this.
Right.
And it all reveals this big portal which has these like demonic figures or whatever, like try to claim the boy, and nobody believes him, and it's part of some kind of ancient curse, blah 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 blah. And that's the darkness in a nutshell.
Okay.
So first of all, this is from Blumhouse.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of
Now, I
course.
have no, like, I haven't seen every Blumhouse movie out there.
Okay. I heard.
But
I
I'm
heard.
not gonna go out of my way to say, because they have low budgets, that means
Here's-
the movie's going to be garbage.
Right,
I
no,
never
here's the
say
thing.
that about these guys. I
Here's
don't
the
know.
good Blumhouse. I don't know if was even possible, but when you mix low budget that we just wanted us, just get a high trade off for the movies, and a director who has had a horrible track record for a long time, somehow you could get a relatively workable amount of creative freedom. Because Blumhouse, almost all of Blumhouse has been complete garbage for me. Almost all of it.
Okay.
With the exception of probably I think they do the first Paranormal Activity.
No.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think they were involved in that. They were more with Insidious
sequels.
and Sinister and stuff like that.
But they didn't do any of the Paranormal Activities.
I don't know, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if
I'll
they did that
look- I'll
last
look
one.
that
'Cause
up.
that last one
But
was
if I remember,
horrible.
but the thing is, what I've noticed is that they did they gave M Night Shyamalan of all people something.
All right,
and-
to do the visit, right?
Not the visit, the new one. Well, I think they did the visit, but the latest one he has.
Split.
Yeah, and people like it apparently.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. So somehow you can mix garbage and have a nice product, maybe. The thing with them is that they do stuff that's pretty good when they're ready. So, were they involved in Whiplash?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Remember, they're more focused on horrors, you know.
Right, but I know they did Insidious, but I'm trying to look who was the producer for Whiplash.
Can't remember, to be honest.
However.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I get the feeling that I always keep thinking it did stuff. No, yeah, the Whiplash is Blumhouse Productions, man.
Okay. Well, look
Yeah.
at that bullshit.
I was thinking, I know they have like a couple like truly good gems in the bullshit now.
Yeah.
But
I
there's
love
no-
how you word that. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, that's the thing. They when you give like a good talented director something relatively small in terms of budget, you can really get a brilliant movie. When you know what to do, just give them something small, nothing above 5 million. So everybody lean on set. Everything lean. Everything is like, oh, you have to spend this money right. You get raw talent and you just get a good damn script and you make
Yeah.
it work. And that's how you can get something like Whiplash. But then they end up giving us other bullshit that don't work at all. And it's a kind of mixed bag. And that's how like production, the reality of production companies is that you have one great film and then 9 bullshit films. And that one film had to pull up all the others just to give the company more hype so you could give money to other films. And then that's, you just kind of do this kind of Darwinian kind of approach to it now. You put out a bunch of films and hope one work.
Yeah.
Hope you have a good script. You hope it work. And that's like product companies at that level. So I have some respect for Blumhouse in that sense. I do have respect for them in that sense, which is They have some money, a little bit of cash, nothing major. I don't think how much of the movies go above 20 million, like almost done. They almost all of it is like 5 million, 10 million max. But then they give us good shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, at times, ever so often, I was like, well, I can't be wrong. So that's the thing with him. That's just a little rant I want to go off. Is that I have some respect for the man.
Yeah, I mean they're doing their thing, and they get probably a few good gems out of it. Yeah, but
Right.
rest are just like forgettable stuff. Like I just realized they handle the Purge series thus far. The
Right.
the
That's
franchise.
an
Yeah.
example of the bullshit, right? Where yes, because they had such a crappy budget, they couldn't do much with it now.
Yeah.
You can't make a movie work like that. Movie kind of need a budget, unfortunately, to just at least a little more money to make it work. And it's just you could tell that low budget just because it is everything need a budget to tell that story. That's the problem.
Right.
And all the Purge movies kind of suck, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. But right. So
Sorry.
right. So get back to the darkness. Like I'm just reading up the wiki page, and I just realized that this was actually based on a true story. So yes, this is one of those horrors which once again is based on true events, even though the movie never say that. They never said anything about the following is based on true events. They never said anything like that. But anyway, it's not like I would have bought into it. It's not like I would have believed it. And unfortunately, it's not like I would have cared. Cause this thing from start to end was just boring. This show runs at like about 92 minutes. We say roughly 85 or 87. Rest is credits, but the pacing of this is terrible. It's just horrifying.
Right.
The pacing is horrifying, actually, I should say. There are moments where nothing happens, and when they
Right.
have like a occasional jump scare, it's just the typical PG-13 BS you've seen before. Oh, it's a dog. Ah! And
Right.
one thing that they do, there was this one, like, I think they do it once or twice, where you hear the shink,
Right,
and
that
then you
bullshit.
see the actual, oh, this is what it is. And normally you're supposed to see the person or the object or the animal or whatever, and then hear the scare about the jump scare music about a second afterwards.
Right.
You don't play the jump scare music and then show the scare, because you tell them I'm supposed to be excited, and then what? It's nothing.
Right.
So you make my heart just go up and then come down in like 2 seconds time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
It
the whole
does not.
point of
It feels bad. You're supposed to show me it, and then play the music, and then I will judge for myself whether I want to jump or not. Don't just
Right.
play the music and expect me to be and then I say like, wait, why jump for?
Right.
I give Kevin Bacon and Radha Mitchell credit. They tried. You could tell they really try. I mean, they signed on to do this thing, so I mean, I can't hate them for it, but nothing in the show works. It's not scary.
Right.
There's no tension, and I make a reference to something like, say, The Shining. Now,
Right.
the younger heads will look at Shining and be like, oh, but this show is so long and boring and nothing happens.
Right.
Even in the moments when nothing is happening, there's always this sense of tension going on. Even in small scenes, there's always some tension that keeps building and building and building. It all leads up to this big payoff. In this one, nothing. It's just these little things. The boy is acting weird. Why is he acting weird? Oh, there's a portal. There's these creatures. The creatures where they rocks back. Do we give them the rocks
Right.
back? Give them the rocks back. End. That's really how it ends. You give them back the rocks. The end. And it's this whole thing about Kevin Bacon's character trying to figure out where these creatures come from, and then he had to go into some Native American legend, and he had to literally go on his laptop and go on some kind of pseudo YouTube website looking up videos, and we have to like watch a minute of, well, these Indians back in the 18th century used to summon different spirits and demons and blah 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 blah.
Right.
Killing time. Nothing. What? I'm supposed to be scared by watching this video and seeing images? No, it doesn't work.
Yeah,
and then they had this stupid, subplot where the marriage started to fall apart because he was this this former alcoholic, and it ruining the marriage, and then they try to figure out how to raise this boy, and the daughter is bulimic. Is bulimic, right? Yeah. Where
yeah.
she would eat and then puke it out. And
Right.
they only touch on that like probably briefly. There's a moment where they were in hospital afterwards, and then they never touch on that ever again for the rest of the show.
Right.
So what was the point of having it there?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I was just watching this thing, expecting something to happen, expecting something really, truly frightening, and nothing really happens. So,
Right.
long story short, it's a failure as a horror. It's a failure as a thriller. It's a failure just building tension. It's a failure creating characters that we care about, and even worse, it's a failure of taking legitimately great actors and giving them crappy roles. Like, say what you want about Gotham, I find that David Mazzo's, whatever his surname is, I think that as far as child actors go, I think he's pretty good.
Okay.
Even in season 2, I thought that he stepped up a little bit more. He did and
Okay.
said and acted a little bit more, a little better, you know. But in this
Okay.
one, he doesn't really do much. He just walks about. He stares into the wall. He says, "Oh, Jenny did this. Jenny told me to do this." He
Right.
screams. He bawls. And like, it's not like I know everything about autism. Like, but I could tell that this is not how autistic people really act. Like, this is not a person like I could really sympathize or feel sorry with. He just came off more annoying, and just the fact that I'm not saying because he's autistic, he's not supposed to react to every single thing. But oh gosh, everybody else around you is scared, and you just say like, "Hey, it's Jenny." You know, it just comes off just just poorly. You know, like
Right.
yeah, like I say, like I don't know this is how autistic people react to things, but I don't think that's how they do at all. It just like say something like accountant where they kind of touch on autism briefly, but still in that show I could sympathize with the children who were autistic. This one I didn't care for the boy. I wanted the boy to die. He didn't die, unfortunately. They just had the
Right.
creatures back the rocks, and that was it. They had some seance thing and typical poltergeist stuff, flashing lights, creepy shadowy stuff. Oh, and final thing. Right, there's this gimmick in the show with black handprints. If you look up the poster, you'll see black handprints on like a bed sheet, and
Okay.
like what that's supposed to scare me. Like I look, oh, black hand sheets. Sorry, black handprints. Ooh, I'm scared now.
Right.
You know, but yeah, definitely a worst of list. I'll give this a 1 out of 5. One
Yeah.
because of Kevin and Radha tried the damnedest to make this thing work, but
Right.
other than that, everything else was just a failure. It wasn't scary. It didn't have any
I
tension.
yeah.
It was jump scares for no reason. It was just lame. A really
Right.
pathetic attempt at making a horror movie. Less, especially one that's supposed to be based on a true story. So skip
Right.
this one.
Yeah. Well, you didn't have to tell me twice.
Yeah. But once again, I just wanted to see it out of curiosity, like, how bad is this show? And then I sort of like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
now I
research.
see. This was just boring. Like, just
Right.
painfully boring.
Scene.
Anyway, let's move from
Yeah.
the States. And let's go to South Korea, where we have 2 more
Oh, boy.
movies to talk about. So,
Yes.
The Handmaiden,
Ah, boy.
directed by probably the one South Korean filmmaker I could say is my favorite, Park
Yeah.
Chan-wook, who made probably one of my all-time favorite movies, Old Boy.
Yes, a
Forget
true
the
classic.
remake. Yes, a true classic. I
True
still
classic.
have yet to see the Vengeance trilogy, but I always heard that Old Boy was like the pinnacle of the trilogy, so I never bothered with the rest. I know
Okay.
I should,
Right.
but whatever. He made quite recently. He made his English language debut with Stoker, which I heard was
Right.
pretty good, but I haven't seen it. I really missed out on it, unfortunately.
Right.
And he returned now to the director's chair with The Handmaiden, which I heard was getting a lot of buzz from the Cannes Film Festival.
Right.
It didn't win the Palme d'Or, but it was close to it.
Right.
And from what I heard, it was a very eye-opening film, and haven't seen it. Oh boy, it is. Whew.
Yeah.
But
I really like this film. Here's why. Okay. Here's why I like it. It catch me off guard. 'Cause I really thought, okay, when you see it start, I was thinking, okay, going in this direction. Then they revealed this. I was like, oh, okay, going here. All right, I could go in with me. Then they revealed this. Like, I would, I really trust it. And then when they do the big final plot run, I was like, wait, this is actually really, really awesome, though. It's very kind of salacious and sleazy. It does
is,
that quite well
yeah.
in many ways. But it does. It's actually quite a workable love story in its own way. It reminds me. I don't know if it's a movie you ever see a movie called Bound.
I haven't seen
So
Bone. I know it's from the Wachowskis.
Wachowskis.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
their
Wachowskis.
debut movie actually.
Yeah, Bong is I forget her name, Gina Gershon.
And
It
Jennifer
was
Tilly.
Jennifer Tilly, and I forget the fellow from Matrix, not Mike, sorry, Joe Pantoliano.
Oh, he was in that too. Okay.
Yeah, was it right? Yeah, I kind of remember that film. It's not the exact same kind of plot, but it has a similar kind of premise of shenanigans, and then this big reveal, and this character doing this, and then these two characters doing this against this character, and then this big, and that's what they do at the end there with this. This movie worked, and it because all of the big big twists in the movie, it reminded me of Gone Girl in that sense. It's like, yeah, I walk in with it expecting one thing, and then get 2-3 other things that I didn't pay for, but you get it work. And and then it have a lot of male gaze stuff in it that work as well. If you remember, and it worked. Yeah. I really like this movie. Really well shot, actually quite funny and clever, and just the ending dread with our kind of borderline torture sequence is like cheese.
Oh boy, yeah.
So that ending was so brutal, and it worked. It totally worked. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't wanna really is once again, it's one of those shows that you have to kind of go in kind of blind. But what I could say right now is that it's about this Korean woman who is hired to be a handmaiden to this Japanese heiress.
Right.
And there's this con man who calls himself Count Fujiwara, who is trying to get to he basically want to marry this woman, but it's not about destiny and all that kind of stuff. She has riches, and he's kind of hoping that he could marry and then basically kind of scheme her. It's basically this big elaborate kind of scheme plan, basically, where where he wants to take the riches and kind of send her to the madhouse. Basically, that's like the plot in a nutshell. But
that's the first big twist jump.
Yeah,
like, oh shit, this is where this is going. All right.
Yeah, but what happens though is that this young woman actually starts to spend a lot of time with this Japanese woman, and they kind of fall in love.
Yeah. They do all of that.
This whole secret lesbian relationship in the background.
Right.
It's this whole kind of, I don't want to say cat and mouse basically, but it's this whole kind of love triangle between these three characters and who's gonna get found out, and that's all I'll say about this show.
And that's what I say. It does a good job with it, because they start, as I say, the way the show starts, and it's like, okay, it's just a poor woman in Korea, and I thought, all right, go and do something interesting with something to do with class or something like that. And then they do the lesbian thing. I'm like, all right, well, I go in here. And in my head, I was thinking, all right, bluesy woman's color, that's what we go and get.
Yeah, it's like a good thing as you mentioned that, because the scenes, though, the scenes are very reminiscent of that show, Bluesy Woman's Color.
Yeah, they do a lot of that.
Very similar, actually, the way how it's shot and put together, yeah.
Right, and as I was saying, a little soft, a bit kind of softcore porn in that level. But the thing is,
but very, very, very on the edge. Like, not even R. Like, this show is unrated, but I can imagine just like Bluesy Woman's Color, this could get easy NC-17 just for those scenes alone, though. Yeah.
Right, and I was thinking, but my thing is that it's like, okay, but the real male gazy, it's shot like softcore porn in my opinion.
Of course, yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like a love scene at all. It's just shot like softcore porn. But what I'm trying to say, when they do the lesbian thing, it's like, all right, the lesbian thing is not a big twist because you kind of see it coming. It's quite foreshadowed.
Of course, yeah.
Then they do, but when they do the madhouse thing, I'm like, wait,
yes.
That's what the movie. I remember my ears perk up. I was like, wait, that's what the movie is about. And then they do the big other twist with the last twist at the end. And again, I kind of vex or spoiling all of that by saying there's a twist. It's not the biggest mind-blowing twist, but it's just, again, I didn't look for the movie there, and it gave me a nice surprise. So I have a lot of fun with that. Again, much like good Gone Girl, it catches me off guard in that way now. It's like you walk in, you're thinking it normal. It's well shot, so you're thinking it's this artsy kind of movie. And then they hit you that, and like, oh, that was real bad. And then then when they do the whole insane asylum thing, that is when they catch me off guard. And then that final sequence when he wake up and you see the two samurai in his bedroom, like, oh shit, that's real bad.
Well, Yakuza actually, yeah.
Right. Well, yeah. I was thinking, but they look like dressed like samurai. He was like, wait, why not wearing suits? But it's Yakuza, it's two mercenary gangster types.
Right.
And then you hear the backstory of the girl, and then they do this whole memory sequence of like, oh shit, this is what the fellow was about. And that's why
he wants went back to what happened before it extends.
And then you find out, and it's like, wait, that's how they're making money? What the hell? And it really gets, like, it really does this rabbit hole stuff. That's
Yeah.
where the movie really sold itself on me, and I was like, okay, I totally understand where this movie get the best of the year. Fucking awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah. This
God,
has been on many best of lists, like from what
yes,
I've been
it
looking at.
this definitely getting a best of the year for me. It might not gonna get high
Okay,
best of the year,
okay.
but this was just so hilarious and strange. Again, it going good. It's like, all right, you're doing this, that kind of controversial. I can see why people kind of hyping it. Then they go this and then this again, much like it Gone Girl. It just had a ramp up in a strange way. Again, and I was like, wow, this. And again, it's how brilliantly shot it is.
Yeah,
It's
it
shot
is. It is.
really
It
well
is.
done.
Well,
It
well
looks
shot.
beautiful. Landscapes great. Cityscapes great.
Camera
Everything
movements
is
and
so
all too. Like there's lots
camera
of
movement
overhead
really
shots.
well done. Yeah.
Panning,
Like camera
like
is so well done.
excellent, yeah.
They did and then they do the whole other angle direction of thing because they had a whole big loop of showing the stuff from the multiple direction to tell what really going on here now.
Yes.
And the big reveals. And I was like, yeah, this is so damn well done. And it was funny too. It was genuinely funny. Although I'll say I make a mistake. What happens that the code I got, I didn't get a proper I got an untranslated version. I was kind of pissed off because the guy said this is the code he had, but he didn't have an English dub. Sorry, an English sub. So he had no subtitles. So I had to look for an SRT on my own. And the SRT kind of sucked, unfortunately. And the SRT kind of sucked.
I got to see what I got a perfect enough sub. Just
Oh, really?
a little faster times. Yeah, yeah. So
Right.
I got to catch what's going on.
Right. I didn't get good enough sub, unfortunately. But I kind of got the gist of what he was trying to say. But sure, I miss a good bit of jokes and humor. So most likely I'll try to wait till I have a real good sub later, and I'm definitely watching this a second time.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, okay. Well, what I would say before we get to rated wise, no.
Yeah.
All right. No directing wise. Like I thought that okay, Park Chan Wook was trying something a little different. He was trying to stay away from the whole vengeance stuff, and trying to do something a little different, a little artsy. At first
Right.
when I was watching this thing, but then I started to see, of course, it's shot excellently, lots of
Right.
lush colors and whatnot. So yeah, that's what you can expect from his movies. Even though they do touch on dark topics, they always look very, very beautiful. I was thinking, okay, this is like a change of pace. He's trying to do something a little different, trying to do a little costume drama, trying to do something a little edgy, like what I think Ang Lee before did a period piece which kind of was really about sex and all that kind of stuff. So I was telling myself, okay, trying to do something a little different here, and then we got the sex scenes and all that. Like okay. But then with the twists and turns, that's when I started to feel the darkness. That's when
Right.
and especially with his dark sense of humor, he has this really
Yeah.
really dark
It's
sense of
very
humor. It
sleazy.
shows, And I was
It's
like,
very
oh
sleazy.
yeah, now we in his world now. Actually, the
Yeah.
whole show, when you think about it, is it is very much the way how he does his stuff, how his
Yeah.
stories play out, And
It's
yes, it is drama. It is primarily a drama, and with
Right.
romance. But yes, there are these sort of cringe-worthy moments intentionally
Yeah.
of like violence
real,
and
eh?
stuff. Yeah.
That
And
was
usually
part
most
of
of
the
it
wine.
is like off screen, but when they're taking place, and it kind of just makes you squirm in your seat. Like there were a few moments, especially near the end, where I was like, and that was like real.
There's a part with a wine glass that is so funny
Yes.
and so well done. That cat, and you could actually foreshadow it from before, and then they bring it back. But I didn't totally bring it back and come full circle perfectly. I was like, all right, that was real well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like this movie. This was
Yeah,
really
me
damn
too,
well
me
done.
too. I thoroughly enjoyed it as well.
The movie I compare it to again is like Bond meets Gone Girl. That's what it feels like, a little bit. It feels like that. That's
Yeah.
what it feels.
Okay.
And here's the thing: it's nowhere near as controversial as Old Boy, in my opinion. 'Cause Old Boy is like, geez, boy, when they reveal what was going on to Old Boy,
Yeah.
like, oh shit,
The
this
reason
like
why
real-
the whole
real
when the
fucked
whole
up.
plan come together.
right. And then
Yeah.
they do the big, and then what the big decision that he makes at the end, which is like such a fucked up thing to do at the end. And it's like, oh geez, boy, still do that. I like, wait, well, I don't know. Well, I don't think we want to spoil Old Boy for anybody who hasn't seen it, but yeah. But yeah, I was like, holy crap. But I really love this. It's more akin to Gone Girl in many ways. It's very sleazy and salacious. A lot of sex in it.
Yeah.
They make it work.
And
But it's
as you mentioned,
it's an artsy sleaze.
yeah, as you mentioned that what I really like, what really fascinated me about the show is how it touched on the topic of sex, and especially
Right.
from both sexes, and especially
Right.
with that period, How they talk about pornography at the time,
That's
those
but that was the
Japanese
big.
scrolls and the tentacle,
That's the
tentacle
thing.
stuff there.
That,
Like I am
that was
familiar with that. Like I know that's where this whole tentacle porn and thing kind of started off
right.
from that. I got
But
that.
I didn't want it. I didn't want it to spoil that because that is when the movie was so sleazy. You can't take
Yeah.
the lesbian stuff is the sleaze. Nope.
Nope,
gets
it was
worse.
that. Yeah,
It
and
gets
then
worse.
just how the male gaze once again, and how
Yeah,
women are
it's very
perceived, and
yeah.
how men are perceived as well too. I really was impressed by how
Yes,
they
that,
touch on
that gets
both
me
of
off
that.
guard.
From a historical
And
perspective, of course.
cracking me up, Judd.
Yeah,
It cracked me up because I really didn't look for the movie there though.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, we go in here? Okay. All right, cool. It's
Yeah,
very
and even
entertaining.
right down to the whole lesbian thing as well too. It's kind of like,
Right.
you could tell it is taboo on the one hand, but
Right,
the other
yeah,
hand it's
totally.
like, yeah, well, hey yo, anything goes. This if you love this
Right.
person, yeah, go for it. That
Right.
kind of double standards basically. I love how
Right.
the show really touch on that.
Yeah, and
The
they do a good
acting,
job with that.
yeah, the acting was superb. Especially from the two female leads.
Yes.
I love the chemistry, if you could
Yeah.
call it that, between
Oh
the
shit.
two.
Was the girl named the rich one? I forget his name. Shit.
Well, all right. The poor one is Suki, I think her name.
Suki, right? Oh god, was the rich one name? I forget. She was real dread though. Like it's like oh shit, that is what she
Oh
was
yes,
on.
yes. Acting wise. Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
dread. I was like,
Hideko. That's her name.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap.
Acting wise though, she
It's like this girl
killed
real
it.
dread
She
though.
no, she did stuff though that was like so dear, so bold. Like
Yeah.
you could
brutal
tell
dread.
that she real pushed herself. Like you could tell that both leads just really pushed themselves. They didn't know
Yeah.
what was gonna happen. They just went bravely into their
Yes.
performances, and whoa.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Stellar performances from those two.
I think because I didn't know what I was walking into, that's why I like the movie so much. Because I went in pretty much blind.
Yeah.
Just heard it was good. Got a screener. I was like, all right, I really wanted to see this. I got a lot of hype from people whose opinions I respect. And then I was like, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed myself. This was excellent.
Yeah, well, same here too.
was it rated?
I went in kind of blind, but
I went to complete.
one
I have
one
no idea
thing
what it
though,
was up.
there are a few moments which like kind of come off as just weird, just downright weird. Now, like you understand
Yeah.
what's going on, but it's kind of like, this is really particularly weird, especially for the sort of costume drama slash art film. It's more artsy than anything like that, but there were a
Right.
few moments where it came out weird and sort of what's the term I'm looking for? Where more like, okay, because I don't know everything about Japanese culture and history.
Right.
Certain things might just go past my head, and I'll be like, oh, okay, well, this is just how things were. Okay, but I don't know
Right. Well,
the
it
full
probably
spectrum.
it was more this, Korean culture, I think. I largely unfamiliar with most of that stuff.
Right.
Because the only thing I know about Korea right now is that the president had get in trouble. I think she was impeached or something like that. I was like, oh, geez, bad.
Oh, yeah, I actually saw that article, but
Right,
heard
yeah.
about the news story.
Like, yeah.
But yeah, but other than that though, I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I don't really see it as a top 10 for me personally, but I
Yeah.
will strongly recommend that you check it out.
No,
it's
it's
not for
gonna-
everyone, I would say that much. I'll say that right off the bat, and I'm not talking about
Right.
the sex scenes, but just because it is a art film, pretty much. I know people will be like, oh, art film, whatever.
But no, that's the thing with it. It's thumbing its nose at the audience because of the certain characters you see in it and the whole art sleaze stuff. That's what make it
yeah.
work.
Right,
And like the
yeah,
film
and
itself,
that's what I love
I know
about.
it's funny. The
Yeah,
film
that-
itself is doing that. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh shit, this man out of shape though.
Exactly. Well, that's what I love the most about it too. Is that yes,
Yeah,
it
you know?
looks very, it looks gorgeous. It's an art film, but yet still,
I think
like the director himself, he's gonna do things that are gonna make you feel uncomfortable. That is
Right.
what he does, and he doesn't
Right.
care if it looks good or if the music sounds classical or whatnot. He's gonna make you feel
Right.
uncomfortable. That's what
but
he does.
that's the whole point I was trying to make is that
Yeah.
he wanted to have his cake and eat it too. Though. That's what make it funny because
Yeah.
it's real sleazy and real damn sleazy, though.
Yeah,
The movie's
it
like
is.
so
It is.
shamelessly sleazy, but it's so well made you can't complain.
Yeah.
Like this is how good filmmaking is, Judd. It is just a really excellent piece of cinema in my opinion, though. Well made, well shot, well acted. I gonna give my ratings
Yeah, give
right
it.
now. The sleaze and the twist just totally catch me off guard. So I just found it so hilarious, and there's that workable juxtaposition. This man did a tight wire act in my opinion, and he totally nailed it. I have to give this a high IMAX. This was so well done. It's so well done for me.
Nice.
it's gonna make the top 10. I don't think it'll make my upper top 10. It'll probably make like a number 8 or something. But Dread, this was so well done. so damn well done for me. Yeah, I didn't give this a high IMAX. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. It was so funny. Much like with Gone Girl, catch me off guard. Didn't expect it to be so awesome. Yeah, this is like this year's Gone Girl for me in many ways. It just catch me off guard. That's the whole thing. It's like at jumping, didn't know it'll be so awesome, and ended up being really fucking awesome.
Right. Well, I'll say this much though. Like, I know the word magnum opus could be thrown a lot with this show. Like, many people might think this could be his magnum opus. It's not Old Boy anymore.
Yeah,
it's this.
It don't hold a candle to Old Boy. I'll just straight up say that.
No,
Let's
it's
be clear
not.
here.
Yeah. But I know a lot of people.
Old Boy is like a true classic.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people will easily put this as his best work because of just the style of it, because of the story and everything like that, because of the period piece. But I see this like this is like what Martin Scorsese did with The Age of Innocence, where this is a guy who does gangster flicks and stories about New York, so why can't do a costume drama based in New York? And it's one of his best works, and I do believe that this movie here, The Handmaiden, is one of Park Chan-wook's best works. So for me, I have to give this a strong 4 out of 5, man. This is honestly one of the best movies I've seen this year. I doubt it'll be in my top 10, but this had to be an honorable mention. But I would say going in, if you don't like costume dramas, if you don't like art films, then you won't care for this one. But if you're bold, if you're adventurous, if you want to see something new, something different, something challenging, something thought-provoking, I stress on that term, thought-provoking, because this is very thought-provoking. This is not just about sleaze and stuff. Yes, it is sleazy and salacious, but it has a lot of depth into it. It's not. It's about the theme, it's about the deeper themes. About sexuality, about being a woman in that time, and being how men look at you and all that kind of stuff. And it just goes way deeper than that. But it's just done in this ridiculously fun and unpredictable story. So yeah, definitely see this as soon as you can.
Yeah, this was excellent, Judd. I totally recommend it. Well, speaking of, you mentioned Martin Scorsese and going off script with movies you don't expect. He coming out with a movie that I'm really hyped for. Silence.
I want to see that.
Looking damn good. Holy
and
crap!
I know we're gonna get next year because Academy Awards.
Yeah, seriously. No, I gonna hopefully. I really hope Christmas Day we get at the screeners and that should just leak. Right?
like how
what happened last year?
Yeah,
I wanna put out my list for the year, so I just wanna de-skip.
Like how Revenant and Heatfully did,
Yeah, all them shit just leak on Christmas. Yeah, I hope we get that. I hope something like that happen and Silence come out. I'll definitely go in cinema and watch it anyway. But have a shot. There's an amazing shot with the three priests walking down some stairs.
The stairs, yes.
Like, what the hell?
I believe I know where he referenced that movie from. It is from a 1962 movie called Harakiri. It is, I've seen it one time. One of the best samurai movies ever made. I love that movie to death. I believe there was a shot. I know that it was a vertical shot of these two characters walking on a flight of stairs, similar to that. But I'm trying to remember if there was a horizontal shot of those same two people walking on a flight of steps. I believe that's where he got the reference from. I have to check it over. But I know you talk about. I saw that shot. I was like, looking hard.
The thing is, Andrew Garfield doing another Jesus movie again, a little religious Christian movie. It's like, we actually get religious movies that actually you can have respect for, not Kirk Cameron bullshit, right?
Oh gosh.
I haven't seen it yet, but Hacksaw Ridge supposed to be solid business. I want to see that. I don't know if that'll get best of the year or anything like that, any kind of top 10 list, but looking solid. Mel Gibson's give us a good film all the time. So anyway.
All right. So last film, I'm just gonna run through this a little quickly. Not really much to talk about, which isn't a bad thing, honestly. It's a zombie film, once again from South Korea, called Train to Busan. Now, going into this, I was expecting some kind of are you familiar with a movie called Juan of the Dead?
Yeah, Juan of the Dead.
Yeah, Juan
from
of
Cuba,
the Dead,
right?
Yeah,
a Cuban film.
Which was a horror comedy, more comedy than horror actually.
Right.
But what that did is that it took the politics of Cuba and was really using this to critique Cuban politics while using the whole familiar zombie apocalypse
True.
some everyday
Right.
man has to step up and rise to the occasion and save
Right.
his family and loved ones from zombies and all that kind of stuff. I
Right.
thought it was gonna be something like that with Train to Busan, but what I did not expect is that this was like a thoroughly engaging and surprisingly emotional zombie movie. Like I know
Right.
when you put emotional and zombie movie, like you don't get stuff like that. The closest you get to that really is like Walking Dead.
Right.
You do get moments of emotion along, of course, with your gratuitous violence, which, by the way, George A. Romero, who you could say is the granddaddy of all modern zombie movies, he actually despises Walking Dead because he find that, oh, it's just about people killing zombies and not nothing. There's no subtext to it. There's no social issue being touched on. It's just people killing zombies. That's it. I still love the show though. I still rock with it. Season 7's been going fine, with Negan and all that stuff. But moving along, right? So,
Right.
in a nutshell, is about this guy. He's a fund manager, and he's divorced. Actually, he lives with his daughter, and the daughter misses her mom, and she wants to go and see her. So the dad's like, what, let me just take the day off. Let me just let's just go and visit your mom. And he goes on this train, but before the train actually is about to leave, it's one of those automatic trains actually. So before it leaves, this person runs inside, and this person, as you would expect, is infected.
Right.
And it starts, the person starts to twitch and turn and act erratic and stuff, and people wonder what's going on. And yes, that person turns into a zombie, bites one person, and then that one person bites another person, and yes, what you would expect, zombies on this train. And what I like first off about the show is that it's not just like, okay, there's just this train that's just going non-stop. It's not stopping at any particular point until like the very end. It stops at different areas, if well, of course, because for people to come out and stuff. And how the show works is that they come up with these very creative scenarios where you would have like these bunch of zombies in like one area of the train, and they will lock up that area. So when it stops at a particular point where the train stops, they could stay inside for fearful of what might be outside, or they might go outside and see what's going on, what's taking place. So the father is trying to protect the daughter throughout all of this. He runs into this guy, this really tough guy, and I actually read that he's supposed to be a real life MMA fighter, but he actually plays like
Okay.
he plays the boyfriend of this pregnant woman. So he's trying to save his girlfriend, and he's trying to keep her safe. And then we have these high school students who are involved as well too, and it's just about them just trying to get to this place called Busan, because apparently there's supposed to be some military presence there, and just safety from this sudden zombie apocalypse. Um, so yeah, I actually enjoyed this movie. Like I said before, I was expecting something a little schlocky, something kind of silly, kind of goofy. I was expecting a comedy basically, but I didn't expect to get something serious. And at times it does take itself a little too seriously, especially like in the mid second act to the final act. But I see that these people were trying to do something different with it. They were trying to make something really special, something unique. Um, and I appreciate that. That was really good. The zombies themselves, what I like is that it's not like your Walking Dead zombies where you have a ton of makeup on each one of the actors playing them. It's just act crazy, twitch, move about, and run. So it's like
Right.
that 28 days later style of zombies where it's not like like what you expect, the slumbering zombies, like what you saw in Shaun of the Dead and Walking Dead. These are zombies that run, and it's like
Yeah, fast zombies.
they're fast zombies. So they only like really targeted humans basically.
Yeah,
And
28
well,
days
sorry,
later.
yeah. Well, not just humans, but animals as well too. There's one shot
Right.
in the beginning where an animal turns into a zombie. But one thing that the show does very smartly is that they give them this little disadvantage where every time it goes dark, they can't see. So
Okay.
yes, when the train is going into a tunnel, they can't see. They just stop and they just kind of looking around, and it's like because they can't see, they sniffing around and they're moving about slowly because they're still looking for humans, for flesh to devour. So it's at those moments where the humans have to figure out how to get from one part of one section of the train to the next. And
Right.
in those moments you get a lot of tension, you get a lot of creativity. That's what like I said, that's what I really like about the show. The one social issue that they really touch on, even though at some point they kind of hammer it over the head, is the idea of unity. You know, right. So you can imagine a situation like that. It's all about looking out for your fellow man, trying to stay together, working together, trying to get from point A to point B. But you have certain characters who I won't reveal, where it's like every man for himself. It's like you are in my way, you are going to be a hindrance from me getting from point A to point B. So I can't help you. If you are in trouble, I just have to leave you there to suffer and die, because it's about my life. It's about me being safe. It's about me getting home, and not about helping your fellow man. And the show really touches
Right.
on that. At first, I was like, this is kind of cheesy, and it just kind of hit me over the head with it. But as the story develops, like, okay, I see where they're going at, and it was really, really, really nice though the way how they touch on that, and it made for some genuinely kind of heartbreaking moments. A lot of gut punches, especially like I say from the midpoint of the second half to the end. A lot of gut punches as well, to a lot of emotional moments, and that was something that I really did not expect in the show. But the whole focus, the whole the whole thing about the movie is just really about the father and the daughter, how far he will go to save this kid, to keep us
Right.
safe. And it made for some genuinely nice moments as well too. Like I know, like I said before, you would expect emotion in a movie about zombies and stuff, but because it focused a lot more on the human characters and not about the zombies. Even right now, like I said, to not giving them a whole set of creepy makeup effects and all that kind of stuff. It really made it really it brought a sense of humanity to the show. It's not just about kill zombies, move on, kill zombies, move on. It had a lot of depth, it had a lot of heart to it. I really love that. Um, One thing though, a lot of people compare this to say World War Z,
Okay.
because of how fast the virus spreads and how these zombies kind of hoard themselves together. And there's always these moments where they kind of, like if they try to get through a glass door, they would just kind of hit the door together and just kind of push their way through. So they kind of smash their way. It's like, basically smashing their way through just by kind of piling on top of each other. It reminded me a lot of like World War Z, like how these zombies were kind of piling up one after the other, trying to get
Right.
from one spot to the next. And and what I like also too is that the movie doesn't use a lot of CG. I mean, there is CG, even with the zombie shots and some other cool stuff which I did not see coming, which I will not spoil here. But like I said before, it's not so much about the zombies as it is about the humans and how they are reacting to this situation. It's about them having to work together, despite the fact that, oh, I mightn't like you or you mightn't like me, but we're in this situation we don't want to be in, so it's best that we work together. But like I said, there will be that one person who just won't trust you, who just doesn't care about you, and it's just about every man for himself. And then we kind of see, unfortunately, how that turns out and how that can affect other people as well too. Like, yes, everyone wants to escape, but if one person is all about himself, then what's gonna happen when other people die and you just there, you don't even care. It's that kind of thing that this show really focuses on. And in closing though, I thoroughly enjoyed this one. It caught me off guard in terms of the emotion. I didn't expect that. I thought it was gonna be like a real cheesy kind of schlocky humor, but it wasn't. But on the other hand, there are moments where it kind of takes itself a little too seriously, which you can kind of expect from zombie shows anyway, like Walking Dead, for example. But because it was something new, it was something different, something fresh, I really enjoyed this one. I wouldn't say it's one of the best zombie movies I've ever seen, but in terms of just being different, I think this is gonna be up there. This is gonna be one of the. This is one that I think a lot of zombie fans should definitely check out as well too. Like, yes, you could say Shaun the Dead and Dawn of the Dead and all those other stuff are great, but yeah, give this one a look as well too. I strongly recommend this. So I will give this a strong 3.5 to like 4 to 5 stars. I really enjoy this one. It's not the best zombie show I've ever seen, but I would say it's probably one of the most emotional I've seen. Like, I haven't seen an emotional zombie movie like this ever. Like, it could
Right.
not even 28 days later went to that emotional level that this show did. And I thought for what they went for the attempt that they went for, I thought it paid off, well enough. And in closing, I heard that there was going to be an English remake of this.
Cool.
Because why not? Which says a lot. But I just hope that
usually fuck up the English remakes, but whatever.
yeah, but I hope that we're not gonna get
Old Boy, for example.
yeah, of course, like Old Boy, for example. I hope that we're not gonna get a World War Z retread where it's just about fast moving zombies and doing all these incredible things that human beings or zombie can't do, and just this one character or different characters going from one spot to the next, which was the one thing that I didn't like about World War Z. Like, it wasn't terrible, but I didn't walk out of it like, yeah, that was a great zombie movie. I was just like, that was popcorn entertainment, mindless. It was dumb, But this one, fortunately, is not mindless. It has some intelligence to it. It has a lot of emotion, like I said before, a lot of character, a lot of depth. And yeah, nothing more I could say about this. So, Train to Busan, definitely check it out. If you're looking for something new, if you're fed up with how season 7 of Walking Dead going so far, you're finding getting too much of Negan and not enough zombies, and you want to see something new, then definitely check out Train to Busan. I highly recommend this one.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's pretty much about it. Yeah. We talked a lot of stuff. So
yeah, the one thing, well, we could what I thought we was going to address is that there are a bunch of albums that got released recently. So
yes.
Oh
yes. Well, thanks for reminding me, because all right, the 3 that I checked out, well, the Childish Gambino I checked out. The thing is with that one is that is actually sort of funk R&B soul album. It's not even a rap album per se. So yeah, Childish Gambino doesn't even rap on this one. He sings. So you could tell that he's drawing a lot of from Parliament, Funkadelic, Sly and the Family Stone, even Prince and all too. And I thought it was decent. It's just that he touches a lot on fatherhood as well too. So him going back to the old school was me kind of thinking like, oh, this is like him going back to like what his dad and used to listen to back in the 70s. He's kind of related to himself, that he's a father and all that too. So I thought it was good. It was a good experimental album, I'll say that much. Not the best thing I've heard last week, but it was decent. The Absol album, the name escapes me right now. I checked it out. It was decent as well. A lot of, I would say right now, if you're not a fan of Absol, he has this sort of way of coming off like he knows it all, even though he does acknowledge that he is flawed. His style and just the way how he raps and the kind of stuff he raps about could come off as kind of pretentious and kind of pseudo intellectual, but other than that though, I enjoyed it because of how schizo it was. But I would say if you're not an Absol fan, you definitely wouldn't like that one. But for me, the highlight was J. Cole, boy, For Your Eyes Only.
Yeah,
I did not expect this one to be that excellent though. But you see, the thing is that why I didn't review it is that I didn't get around to listening again. I only listened once. I was blown away by it. I love the fact that it wasn't just about him being a father, but he was also kind of drawing inspiration from another from a friend of his who was murdered, who actually was a father and left a daughter behind. So he's kind of telling 2 stories in this one album, and I thought how they pulled it off, especially on that last track, which hit me really hard. That was like, wow. So I definitely see that one being in my top 10 hip-hop list. But other than that though, the others I will give a listen as well too. But that J. Cole one, that was the one that sold it for me.
Yeah. I listened to J. Cole, I listened to a little bit of Gambino, and the album I was listening to recently. Starboy, yeah.
I listened to Starboy a week before.
I slightly embarrassed that I into Starboy, but it's actually a pretty good album.
It is. Yeah, I like the character that he plays. This
But it have 3 tracks. It have like about 3 or 4 tracks that really like stood out for me. The first and second track, well, Starboy is the big hit single.
Of course, yeah. That's.
But the second and third track I actually really like, and the final track is quite good. There's another track with Daft Punk.
Yeah, that song actually I heard it on radio right now. So yeah,
but
it's
the
final track is
a
single now.
Okay, cool.
It's like cool because it has a nice.
I love that song.
Yeah, I really
like that song. Really like that song as well.
Yeah,
anyway,
I'm not the biggest Weeknd fan, but I saw what he was going
for. I really like Low Life, and it's only because of Future a little bit, but he was really good in that track too. And Low Life is just a damn catchy song for me, but yeah, it's a real bullshit at the same time. It's the bullshit you're not supposed to like. It's a little shame that you like it, but yeah, it's a guilty pleasure, so whatever.
What else? What else? I'm not, yeah, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Weekend, but one
Right.
thing though is not as dark as say, the album that he brought out last time. But he kind of touches on it on this album here, where all of a sudden he got popular off of being this kind of uber dark kind of R&B star. So he kind of
Right.
touches on that, but at the same time, it comes off a little like commercial and anything else. It's not as dark as the last album, but still entertaining, still worth checking out if you haven't listened to it.
Right.
All right,
See,
so Ricardo, where can we find you online, man?
you can get me at Armedy. That is at RMEDDY on Twitter. That is Ampersat RMDDY on Twitter. And then you could just type in Ricardo Medina on Facebook and you could find me there.
Cool. Well, you can find me on you can find me on Twitter as well too. Just look for Legally Black MJB in capital letters. You can also
Right.
look for me on Facebook. Just type in Matthew Bailey, and also you can look for Legally Black official fan base, where you see the link to this podcast here as well as the others that we've done before, and of course my written reviews that I do every once in a while.
Nice.
All right. So final things in closing. This week we are going to check out Rogue
Yeah,
One,
boy.
a Star Wars story. I forgot.
Yep. Hmm.
Yeah, so you can expect a review for that next week. We're gonna bring it out as soon as possible as well.
Right.
And I really thinking about doing a kinda small little Christmas special thing, like how we did for the Halloween, where we talked about unconventional horror movies. I guess in this one, because it's Christmas, we could talk about favorites and not so
Right.
much favorites.
Right.
I just had to kind of figure out the actual structure of it, and then you'll hear it hopefully with this with the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we definitely have to do something Christmas wise, because of course Christmas is coming, so why not?
And hearing some interesting just now. I think right on I'm doing some actual browsing while thinking, and I think the Fast 8 trailer comes out.
It's supposed to come out actually the day of this recording actually. So
Yeah, not sure.
because it's Universal, we probably might get that with the mommy after 11
Right.
o'clock. So
Right.
but I will check it out tonight, and with the
Right.
next recording we could talk about if it was
Talk
worth
about it.
I-
Or
I'm-
we could
I'm
just
excited
we
for
could
it,
do,
though.
we could do a quick record and you could splice it into this episode. Cut this out.
We'll see. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Since
try
it-
that we do it for the next one, but we'll see.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
I find it you could put it in as part of the trailers thing any one time. But whatever. Small
Yeah.
thing. Anything is up to you.
All right. So anything else apart from that? Oh, that's it.
No, nothing really. Just thinking just looking at what movies coming out for this week. Kinda thing.
Well, we were supposed to get on the Will Blood Wars, but fortunately that went
Eh.
to next month. Hooray!
Yeah,
January.
pushing back a bunch of shit. That
Yeah.
kind of pisses me off. This pushing back bullshit.
Yeah, there's still Office Christmas Party, which
I
honestly
don't want to
don't
see.
care
Don't want
about.
don't want to fucking see.
Yeah.
It's that garbage. Let me see what come out. Yeah,
But I think the last show that I really know for sure, that I wouldn't mind watching on big screen, believe it or not, is Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah, that right. I'll go and see that. I might go and make the effort to go see Lion. Might.
All right.
Might. Maybe.
Right, and along the line of us, along the same week with Assassin's Creed, we also have Sing, which kind of not really. I don't really care about that.
Yeah,
show that
yeah.
much.
Sing looking interesting. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what it. Cause I heard it because the trailer itself looked terrible
Oh, it
um,
does. Oh, it does. It does.
on
it
on
does.
its own, and then I was like, but when people was giving it good ratings and hype, and I was getting get good hype, it'll make a ton of cash, blah blah blah. Like, all right, whatever. We'll see. Then a bunch
Okay.
of other.
Yeah. So there's Passengers as well too, which I know little about, but
Yeah,
that's how I want to
hype
go.
about that.
Yeah.
A hype about that. That 2 stars are kind of like, so we'll see.
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence, I really like.
Right.
Yeah.
Then Collateral Beauty coming out, which I think gonna suck. But I'll go see it anyway. Will Smith, he kind of pushing for Oscar again, whatever.
Yeah,
La La
I
Land.
don't think going to win for this one anyway, but I don't think
Yeah,
he cares
I
right now.
think. Movies I actually really want to see actually is Hidden Figures. Hidden Figures is a movie about 3 black mathematicians helping out in NASA.
Yeah,
And starring Janelle Monáe, Octavia Spencer. So I
and
really want
Taraji
to
B.
see
Henson.
Taraji B. Henson. So I want to see that. Really
But
like
we're getting
Janelle
that
Monáe.
next year. Yay!
Right.
Yeah,
I
that's
hope that leak. I hope that leak for Christmas. We got a big Christmas leak, and we thing.
Yeah,
La La
fair.
Land. I hope that leak for Christmas, but we getting that January 13th to June. That.
Yeah,
Doubt
I hope we get. I hope we get.
I doubt
a leak for
unless
this
I
system.
get lucky and get a screener for that from a friend. I doubt I get through with that. So
There you
yeah.
go.
shaft,
Yeah.
whatever.
All right, but other than that, too, that's pretty much about it. So once again, guys, good
Yeah.
morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever this was Matchabili
Ricardo Medina.
and we are signing off from another episode of Bears Beats and Billy. So take care and look out for
Peace.
our review of Rogue One.
Yes.
All right, so take care, guys. Later.
Yeah. Later.